What if I told you the Great Pyramid of Giza isn't just a tomb, but a mystery that challenges everything we know about ancient civilizations? A structure so perfectly crafted, it defies logic, science, and the tools the Egyptians supposedly had at their disposal. How could they have built something like this without advanced technology? Was it really the Egyptians, or did they inherit their knowledge from a long-lost civilization? Or maybe even extraterrestrials? The theories will shock you, and the evidence might just change your entire view of history. Wherever you're tuning in from, feel free to drop a comment. It's always nice to hear from you. If you'd like to hear more stories like these, subscribing is a great way to stay connected. Get cozy. It's time to let your mind wander, whether you're winding down to sleep or simply enjoying the calm. It's truly great having you here. Let's dive in. Ancient Egypt was a civilization that began as a collection of small settlements along the banks of the Nile River, and over the course of millennia, it became one of the most powerful and advanced societies the world has ever known. The journey from these humble beginnings to the towering pyramids of Giza is nothing short of extraordinary. The Nile, which flooded annually and left behind fertile soil, provided the foundation for Egyptian agriculture, making it the lifeblood of the civilization. With the growth of agriculture came the ability to sustain larger populations, create surplus food, and support a thriving culture. It wasn't long before the first villages transformed into towns, and eventually Egypt became a unified kingdom. The unification of Upper and Lower Egypt around 3100 BC by King Narmer, also known as Menes, marked the beginning of Egypt's greatness. This unification laid the groundwork for what would become a remarkably sophisticated and powerful civilization. Under this single kingdom, Egypt grew not only in size, but in influence. From the construction of monumental temples to the development of a complex system of writing and trade, the Egyptians were building a civilization that would stand the test of time. The rise of Egypt was not simply the result of geographic advantage, but of a society that valued knowledge, spiritual life, and cultural achievement above all. The Egyptian pharaohs, the divine rulers of the land, were the pillars of this flourishing society. But the pharaohs were not merely kings. They were gods on earth. Pharaohs were believed to be the living embodiment of Horus, the god of the sky, and upon their death, they became Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Their role was crucial. They were not only the rulers of the land, but also the spiritual link between the gods and the people. Their responsibility was to uphold Ma'at, the divine order of the universe, which ensured harmony and balance in Egypt and the cosmos. If the pharaoh succeeded in maintaining Ma'at, Egypt would thrive. If not, chaos would ensue. But more than that, pharaohs were the key figures in Egyptian religion and culture. The entire society revolved around them. Every aspect of Egyptian life, art, architecture, science, and religion, was created to support the pharaoh's role as a divine figure. The pharaohs believed that the pyramid, which they commissioned for their tombs, was not just a structure for burial. It was their gateway to eternity. They believed that upon their death, their soul would ascend to the heavens through these monumental pyramids, which were designed to help them join the gods and continue their rule in the afterlife. This belief in immortality was not just an abstract concept. It was the foundation upon which Egyptian society was built. But how did the Egyptians build such incredible structures with limited tools and technology? How did they achieve feats of engineering that seem impossible for their time? The answer lies in the ingenuity of the Egyptians, the resources at their disposal, and perhaps a little bit of divine inspiration. The first pyramid, the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, was built by Pharaoh Djoser in the 3rd dynasty. Around 2670 BC, it marked the beginning of pyramid construction and set the stage for the later, more complex structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Step Pyramid was revolutionary because it transformed the traditional burial mound into a multi-tiered structure that would eventually evolve into the iconic smooth-sided pyramids we recognize today. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, built by Pharaoh Khufu, also known as Cheops, around 2580 BC, is where the mystery truly begins. Standing at 481 feet tall, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth for over 3,800 years. The pyramid is made of approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 5 tons, and was built with such precision that modern engineers still can't agree on how it was done. How did the ancient Egyptians transport these massive blocks, some of which came from quarries hundreds of miles away? How did they lift these stones to such incredible heights? Theories abound. Some believe ramps were used, others suggest advanced tools, and some even think they may have had knowledge of sound or vibration technology to lift the stones. And while there's no definitive answer, one thing is clear. The Great Pyramid was a monumental achievement that required not only a vast workforce, but also a deeply organized society with an incredible amount of planning and resources. But let's not forget the pharaoh's grand vision. The pyramids were not just tombs. They were a direct expression of the pharaoh's divine power and authority. The building of the Great Pyramid was meant to secure Khufu's place in the afterlife, but also to demonstrate his dominance and eternal rule over Egypt. The pyramid was, in many ways, a statement, an architectural masterpiece meant to stand for eternity. Pharaohs like Khufu weren't just thinking about the present. They were building for the future, ensuring that their reign would be remembered for millennia. Every aspect of the pyramid's construction, from its size and shape to its alignment with the stars, was carefully planned to reflect the pharaoh's divine right to rule. The pharaohs were also obsessed with immortality, and this obsession drove them to create grand tombs, not just for themselves, but for their entire families and future generations. The Valley of the Kings, where many of Egypt's later pharaohs were buried, is a testament to the elaborate burial rituals that were carried out in preparation for the afterlife. These tombs were filled with treasures, food, and offerings, all intended to sustain the pharaohs in the afterlife. But even with all this grandeur, the pharaohs believed that their true immortality lay in their connection to the divine. Their tombs, especially the pyramids, were seen as physical manifestations of their spiritual journey, ensuring that their souls would be guided to the heavens. The construction of the pyramids also marked a shift in Egyptian society. Building these colossal monuments required immense resources, including a vast workforce of skilled laborers, architects, and priests. It wasn't just about cutting and moving stones. It was about creating a cosmic connection between the pharaoh and the gods. The laborers, who lived in small villages near the pyramids, were well-fed and well-respected, contrary to the common misconception that they were slaves. These workers, many of whom were specialized craftsmen and engineers, were part of something much larger than themselves. They were building more than just tombs. They were building the future. The pyramids themselves were more than just tombs. They were symbols of divine power, religious beliefs, and the pharaoh's eternal rule. Each pyramid, carefully constructed with immense precision and grandeur, was a statement to the world. This pharaoh, this ruler, would reign forever, even beyond death. The vision behind the pyramids was not just about a pharaoh's physical tomb, but about ensuring his soul's safe journey to the afterlife, where he would continue to guide Egypt and maintain divine order in the heavens. And so, as we look at the pyramids today, we're not just seeing stone and mortar. We're witnessing the legacy of a civilization that truly believed in the eternal power of its rulers. A civilization that understood the importance of leaving a lasting mark on history. But with every mystery solved, more questions arise. How did they build them? What knowledge did they possess that allowed them to achieve the impossible? And how much of their legacy remains hidden beneath the sands of time? These are the questions that keep us searching, and the pyramids themselves continue to stand as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time. The story of the pyramids begins not with the colossal grandeur of the Great Pyramid of Giza, but with something much humbler and yet equally revolutionary, the Step Pyramid of Djoser. Built around 2670 BC during the Third Dynasty, the Step Pyramid wasn't just a tomb. It was a groundbreaking architectural achievement, a step forward that would eventually lead to the most iconic structures the world has ever seen. But before the world could even imagine the massive pyramids of Giza, it took a visionary named Imhotep to spark this monumental journey. Imhotep was not just an architect. He was a genius, a priest, and a polymath whose influence would shape the course of Egyptian history. Imhotep was an extraordinary figure in ancient Egypt, revered as a god of medicine and wisdom long after his death. But his most significant legacy was his work as the architect of the Step Pyramid. Before Imhotep, tombs were simple, flat-roofed structures known as mastabas. But Imhotep's ambition was far greater. He sought to create a monumental tomb that would honor Pharaoh Djoser in a way that no other tomb had before. The result was the Step Pyramid, which stood as the tallest structure in Egypt at the time, reaching a height of 204 feet. It was the first pyramid ever built, a stunning example of early Egyptian ingenuity and architectural vision. What made the Step Pyramid so special wasn't just its size, but its design. It was a true innovation, a six-step structure, a stacked design that evolved from the simple mastaba. Each tier of the pyramid represented a layer, not just a physical structure, but a symbolic ascent to the heavens, where the pharaoh's soul would join the gods. Imhotep didn't just build a tomb. He built a gateway for Djoser's soul to journey to the afterlife. But the Step Pyramid was more than just a tomb. It was a bold statement of power and divine right. This was the first time in history that the pharaoh's burial site had been made so grand, so monumental, that it transcended anything that had been done before. The Step Pyramid also marked a turning point in Egyptian architecture and engineering. The structure was built from limestone, and its construction was not just about placing stones on top of each other, but required sophisticated planning, organization, and labor. It was a massive project that required the coordination of thousands of workers, from quarrymen to laborers, craftsmen, and priests. The construction of the Step Pyramid took about 14 years, and it was a monumental task that demanded not just physical labor, but intellectual genius as well. Imhotep's design was the beginning of what would become a series of progressively more complex and larger pyramids. But even in its relatively simple form, the Step Pyramid demonstrated an incredible leap forward in architectural techniques. The transition from the Step Pyramid to the later, more refined pyramids was inevitable, but it was not a smooth journey. The Egyptians would continue to evolve their design techniques and learn from the construction of the Step Pyramid. The real breakthrough, however, came with Pharaoh Khufu, the ruler of the Fourth Dynasty, who would take the concept of the pyramid to an entirely new level. Khufu's ambition was vast. He didn't just want to build a tomb. He wanted to create a monument that would last for eternity, something that would outlast any structure ever built before him. The Great Pyramid of Giza was born from this ambition, and it would go on to become the largest and most awe-inspiring pyramid in the world, a monument that would dwarf the Step Pyramid in both size and complexity. Khufu, or Cheops as he is known in Greek, understood the power of monuments. His pyramid would stand not only as a tomb, but as a testament to his divine rule, a symbol of his power that would stretch beyond his reign and into the future. Unlike the Step Pyramid, which was relatively simple in design, the Great Pyramid would be a true marvel of precision and scale. The Great Pyramid of Giza would be the pinnacle of pyramid construction, an architectural wonder that would stand at 481 feet tall, making it the tallest man-made structure on Earth for over 3,800 years. The Great Pyramid was not just a massive stone structure, but a perfect example of Egyptian mathematical and astronomical knowledge. It was aligned with the cardinal points of the compass and represented the perfect harmony between earth and sky, a direct connection between the pharaoh and the gods. The Great Pyramid was a symbol of Khufu's divine authority, a structure built not just for his burial, but to ensure his soul's immortality. Unlike the Step Pyramid, which was designed as a tomb, the Great Pyramid was a cosmic creation, one that aligned with the stars and the heavens. It was a symbolic journey for Khufu's soul, a journey that would elevate him to the level of the gods in the afterlife. Khufu's pyramid, which required about 20 years to build, was constructed with over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 5 tons. The sheer scale of the project is mind-boggling, and the precision with which it was built continues to mystify historians and engineers to this day. But how did they achieve such an incredible feat of engineering? That's where the mystery begins. The methods used to transport and lift the stones remain a subject of much debate. Some believe ramps, perhaps straight or spiral, were used to transport the massive blocks to the top, while others think that levers and cranes may have been employed. There are even some theories that the ancient Egyptians used sound or vibration techniques to move the stones into place. The truth remains elusive, but one thing is certain. The creation of the Great Pyramid was not only a physical achievement, but a spiritual one as well. It was a project that involved not just the labor of thousands of workers, but also the highest levels of Egyptian engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. Khufu's pyramid also marked the beginning of a new era in Egyptian culture. It was the ultimate expression of the pharaoh's divine right to rule, a message that Khufu was not just a ruler of Egypt, but a god on earth. And this message was not just for Khufu. It was for all future pharaohs who would follow in his footsteps. The Great Pyramid set a new standard for pyramid construction, and every subsequent pharaoh sought to build something that would surpass the Great Pyramid in scale and grandeur. But Khufu's pyramid would remain the ultimate achievement, standing as a testament to his power, vision, and divine right to rule. So, while Imhotep's Step Pyramid was the first monumental leap, Khufu's Great Pyramid was the ultimate realization of what Imhotep had begun. The Great Pyramid would be the standard, the model for future pharaohs, and a lasting symbol of Egypt's divine monarchy. But the journey from the first pyramid to the greatest pyramid was not just about building larger and taller structures. It was about the pharaoh's desire to leave an eternal legacy, a legacy that would transcend time and continue to inspire awe and wonder for thousands of years to come. Pharaoh Khufu, known also as Cheops in Greek, was no ordinary ruler. He was a visionary whose ambition knew no bounds. In an era when even simple stone structures were considered groundbreaking, Khufu set his sights on creating something far grander than anything the world had seen before. Egypt had already seen monumental achievements, but Khufu sought to build a tomb that would not just house his body, but serve as an eternal testament to his power and divine right to rule. This would not be just a tomb. It would be a pyramid so massive, so perfectly constructed, that it would become the tallest man-made structure in the world, a lasting symbol of Khufu's reign, and a beacon that would shine through the ages, guiding his soul to the afterlife. Khufu's pyramid wasn't merely about the size. It was about making a statement that would stand the test of time. The Great Pyramid of Giza, as it came to be known, was to be a symbol of the pharaoh's divine right, his path to immortality, and the sheer scope of Egypt's power. The Egyptians believed the afterlife was just as important as life on earth, and for a pharaoh to secure his place in eternity, he needed more than just a tomb. He needed a grand gateway to the heavens, a structure that would protect his body and soul for all time. And so, Khufu set out to build something that would surpass any structure before it, a pyramid so grand that it would be remembered for millennia. In an age where the tallest buildings were no more than a few stories, Khufu envisioned a pyramid that would stand over 480 feet tall, taller than any building ever constructed by human hands. The Great Pyramid of Giza was built using approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 5 tons. The sheer scale of the pyramid was staggering. To put this into perspective, it would take about 2,300 men to move just one of those stones from the quarry to the construction site. And all of this was achieved without the help of cranes, bulldozers, or any modern machinery. Imagine building a structure of that scale with just the tools of ancient Egypt: a few copper chisels, wooden sleds, and sheer manpower. The precision with which it was built, the alignment of the pyramid with the stars, the mathematical genius required. All of it still baffles historians and engineers to this day. The Great Pyramid was not just a feat of size. It was also an incredible achievement in design and alignment. It was constructed with such precision that the 4 corners are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass. Even more fascinating is the fact that the sides of the pyramid are aligned to true north with an accuracy of just 0.05 degrees. Modern builders would be hard-pressed to replicate such precision, even with all our advanced technology. How could the ancient Egyptians have done this? Was this a result of their advanced knowledge of geometry, astronomy, and engineering? Or was there something more to it? Could they have had access to knowledge from a lost civilization, or perhaps just maybe extraterrestrial assistance? And this wasn't just about stacking stones. The Great Pyramid was designed with a highly complex internal structure, including narrow shafts leading from the king's chamber, which still baffle researchers today. What was their purpose? Could they have been designed to align with certain stars? Or were they part of a hidden energy system within the pyramid? The mysteries of the internal structure are only part of the enigma surrounding the Great Pyramid. The tomb itself, the burial chamber of Khufu, was never truly complete in the traditional sense. There is no grand treasure hoard hidden inside, as might be expected from such a monument. Instead, the Great Pyramid's most important purpose was to serve as a cosmic connection for Khufu's soul, ensuring his eternal life among the gods. The construction of the pyramid was a massive undertaking that involved tens of thousands of workers, many of whom were not slaves, as once popularly believed, but skilled laborers, craftsmen, and engineers. These workers were housed in nearby workers' villages, where they lived and worked for the duration of the pyramid's construction. Contrary to popular belief, these workers were well-fed and respected, and many of them were buried near the pyramid in tombs that indicate they were honored for their role in such a monumental project. The amount of labor, planning, and resources required to build the pyramid would have been staggering, and yet Khufu's ambition was to create something that would truly defy imagination. One of the most intriguing aspects of Khufu's pyramid is the sheer mystery surrounding its construction. How did the ancient Egyptians lift the massive stones to the heights necessary to complete such a structure? Theories abound. Some believe they used a system of ramps, possibly a straight, zigzagging, or even spiral ramp that wrapped around the pyramid as it grew taller. Others suggest that levers and pulleys were used to lift the stones into place. Some even speculate that sound or vibration might have been used to levitate the massive stones, a theory that, though controversial, raises interesting questions about the potential for lost technologies. The project itself took around 20 years to complete, and it's believed that most of the construction was done during the flooding season of the Nile, when agricultural work was on hold. This allowed the workers to focus solely on the pyramid. But how did they organize such an immense workforce? How were the stones quarried, transported, and precisely placed? The scale of the logistics involved is mind-boggling. To this day, no one knows for sure how the ancient Egyptians achieved such a feat, and this remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world. The construction of the Great Pyramid was also a reflection of Khufu's deep belief in the afterlife. The pyramid's design was a direct manifestation of the pharaoh's desire to join the gods in the heavens, and to ensure that his soul would ascend to immortality. The pyramid was more than just a tomb. It was a spiritual vessel, a divine structure that would protect and guide Khufu's soul through the afterlife. In ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was not just a ruler. He was a god, and his tomb needed to reflect that divinity. The pyramids' sheer size and complexity were not just physical. They were spiritual, aligning the pharaoh with the stars and the cosmos. Khufu's Great Pyramid was not just the largest pyramid in Egypt. It was a symbol of his power, his divine authority, and his eternal journey to the afterlife. The pyramid would stand as a monumental reminder of Khufu's reign, of his place among the gods, and of his vision for immortality. Even though the tomb was never looted in antiquity, and no great treasure was found within, the pyramid itself became the greatest treasure of all, an enduring legacy that would stand for millennia and continue to captivate and inspire people all over the world. Was the construction of the Great Pyramid truly within the reach of the ancient Egyptians, or was there something more at play? Was Khufu's vision simply the result of human ingenuity, or was there some hidden knowledge passed down through the ages that allowed them to achieve such an extraordinary feat? These questions remain unanswered to this day, and the Great Pyramid continues to stand as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. The story we've long been told about the construction of the pyramids is one of harsh, backbreaking labor and suffering. For centuries, the image of millions of slaves, driven by the pharaoh's whip, carrying massive stones under the scorching sun, has dominated our understanding of ancient Egypt's pyramid builders. This portrayal has been fueled by ancient Greek historians like Herodotus, who first described the laborers as slaves, and it has been further cemented in popular culture by Hollywood films like The Ten Commandments and Ben-Hur, where slaves toil endlessly, driven by punishment and fear. This enduring myth paints a grim picture of the pyramid's creation, a vision of forced labor and oppression that fits the dramatic narratives of ancient Egypt. But is it really accurate? Could it be true that the monumental wonders of the pyramids were built by millions of slaves, working under the lash of the pharaoh's whip? Or is there something far more complex and far more fascinating at play? Let's step back and look at the evidence, as modern archaeology has begun to unravel the truth behind this myth, and what has been discovered is not what we've been taught. As archaeologists have dug deeper into the site of the Great Pyramid of Giza and other pyramid sites, they've uncovered remarkable evidence that challenges the traditional narrative. Workers' tombs have been found near the pyramids, and these tombs tell an entirely different story. Rather than the grim remains of slaves, archaeologists found that the workers who built the pyramids were well respected and honored, both in life and death. These workers were not nameless, faceless laborers. They were skilled craftsmen and engineers who took pride in their work and were celebrated for their expertise. The discovery of these workers' tombs has been a game changer. Some of the most important evidence comes from the tombs of workers found near the Great Pyramid. These tombs were not the burial sites of slaves, but of craftsmen and laborers who had been entrusted with one of the greatest construction projects in human history. Many of these workers were buried with respect, receiving offerings of food and even miniature models of their tools, which was a sign of honor and respect in ancient Egypt. The burial goods found alongside these tombs suggest that these men were celebrated for their skills and contributions to the monumental project they worked on. How could these workers, who were so well respected in death, possibly have been slaves? The answer is clear: they weren't slaves. In addition to the tombs, archaeologists uncovered the remains of workers' villages near the pyramids. These villages were not places of suffering, but vibrant communities where skilled workers lived and worked together for years, sometimes even decades. These workers had families, and they lived in well-organized settlements, complete with homes, workshops, and even communal kitchens. The idea that these workers were enslaved is contradicted by the evidence of well-constructed homes and thriving communities that these laborers created for themselves while they worked on the pyramids. These workers were not merely laboring under the lash of a cruel pharaoh. They were part of a grand project, a project that was not only a testament to Egypt's power, but also a deeply spiritual undertaking. Furthermore, the workers who built the pyramids were likely well-fed and well-treated. The evidence shows that the workers had access to food, drink, and even medical care during the years they worked on the construction sites. There were elaborate facilities to supply food, which included meat, bread, and even beer, essential for sustenance during the long working hours. The Egyptians understood the importance of keeping their workforce healthy, and the workers were given proper nourishment to ensure they could carry out their physically demanding tasks with efficiency and skill. There is no evidence to suggest that the workers were malnourished or overworked. On the contrary, these workers were honored for their work and their contributions to one of the most impressive feats of engineering the world has ever seen. Another key piece of evidence that debunks the slave theory comes from the careful planning and coordination required to build such a monumental project. Building the pyramids wasn't just about moving massive stones and stacking them on top of each other. It required immense intellectual and organizational effort. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, involved tens of thousands of workers, but it also required skilled architects, engineers, and craftsmen who could design, plan, and execute a project of such complexity. It wasn't just muscle power that built the pyramids. It was brains and brawn working together. The highly organized workforce involved multiple teams with specialized skills, including stonemasons, carpenters, and engineers, who were responsible for every step of the process, from quarrying and transporting the stones to placing them precisely on the pyramid. The precision with which the stones were placed, perfectly aligned and stacked without mortar, is a testament to the skill and expertise of the workers who crafted the pyramid. But the true nature of the pyramid workers' roles goes even further. These men and women were seen as part of a sacred duty. Building the pyramids was not just a job. It was a religious and spiritual undertaking. The pharaohs believed that these monumental structures were essential to their own immortality and that of Egypt's divine order. The workers who participated in the construction of these sacred tombs were seen as key contributors to the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. They were not simply performing back-breaking labor. They were part of something much greater, a divine mission to help the pharaoh achieve eternal life. This spiritual aspect elevated the workers' role in society, transforming them into essential figures in Egypt's religious landscape. The workers weren't slaves. They were honored participants in a cosmic endeavor that transcended mere labor. As we delve deeper into the history of these workers, it's clear that they were not the oppressed, downtrodden slaves often depicted in popular culture. They were the finest craftsmen, engineers, and laborers of their time, respected and honored for their contributions to one of the greatest achievements in human history. The myth of slave labor falls apart when faced with the archaeological evidence. The workers were skilled, well-treated, and essential to the success of the pyramid building project. The story of these workers is one of honor, respect, and pride, not cruelty and oppression. So, the next time we think about the construction of the pyramids, let's reimagine the workers as the respected, skilled individuals they truly were. They weren't slaves. They were the backbone of one of the most remarkable civilizations the world has ever known. And their legacy, too, deserves to be remembered and celebrated. They were the architects of Egypt's greatness, and without them, the pyramids would never have been the awe-inspiring monuments that still stand today. One of the most intriguing and controversial theories surrounding the construction of the pyramids is the idea that extraterrestrial beings were somehow involved in their creation. For decades, this theory has captured the imagination of millions, offering an alternative explanation to the traditional view that ancient Egyptians, with their limited technology, built these incredible structures. This idea, often referred to as the alien theory, suggests that advanced extraterrestrial beings, possibly from another galaxy, played a role in guiding or assisting the ancient Egyptians in constructing the pyramids, due to their exceptional precision, engineering, and alignment with celestial bodies. So, let's dive into this fascinating and often debated theory. The concept of extraterrestrial influence in ancient human history was first popularized by Erich von Däniken in his seminal book Chariots of the Gods. Published in 1968, von Däniken proposed that ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, may have received help from beings from other worlds, who possessed advanced technology far beyond what was available on Earth at the time. The idea was groundbreaking, sparking widespread interest in the possibility that ancient people were not solely responsible for the construction of monumental structures like the pyramids. Instead, these beings, whom von Däniken referred to as ancient astronauts, may have shared their knowledge and expertise with the Egyptians, helping them achieve feats of engineering that seem impossible given the technology of the time. So why do some people believe extraterrestrials might have been involved in pyramid construction? The answer lies in the sheer scale and precision of the Great Pyramid of Giza, as well as its remarkable alignment with the stars. The Great Pyramid is a mathematical marvel. Its dimensions closely mirror certain mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio, which were only formally discovered in modern times. This precision is so stunning that some researchers wonder how the ancient Egyptians could have achieved such accuracy without advanced measuring tools and technology. Could they have possessed knowledge passed down by extraterrestrial visitors? Or was it simply the result of human ingenuity and expertise? Another intriguing aspect of the pyramid's construction is its alignment with the stars, particularly the star Sirius and the constellation of Orion. The ancient Egyptians believed that these celestial bodies were deeply connected to their gods, and they constructed the pyramids with a precise alignment to these stars. The Great Pyramid is particularly aligned with the stars of Orion's belt, which was associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. This alignment is so perfect that it suggests the Egyptians may have had an advanced understanding of astronomy far ahead of their time. Some theorists argue that such precise star alignments could not have been achieved without assistance from an outside, more advanced civilization, perhaps even extraterrestrial beings with knowledge of celestial navigation. But the mysteries surrounding the pyramids don't end with their alignment to the stars. The internal design of the Great Pyramid is just as baffling. Within the pyramid, there are shafts, passageways, and chambers that don't seem to have a clear purpose. The king's chamber, for instance, is made of massive granite blocks, which are known to be incredibly difficult to cut with primitive tools. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to craft these massive stones with such precision? And why were these mysterious shafts built into the pyramid, some of which align with certain stars, such as the star Alnitak in Orion's belt? Could these passages have been part of a larger, cosmic plan that involved communicating with extraterrestrials? Or were they simply part of an intricate religious and architectural design that we are still trying to fully understand? The sheer scale of the pyramid's construction is another reason some people point to extraterrestrial involvement. The Great Pyramid was built using over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2 and 5 tons, and was completed in just over 20 years. That's an astonishing feat, especially when you consider that the ancient Egyptians had no cranes, no bulldozers, and no advanced machinery to assist them. The question arises, how did the Egyptians move and place these massive blocks with such precision and efficiency? Some proponents of the alien theory suggest that extraterrestrial technology could have been used to move these stones, possibly using anti-gravity or energy manipulation methods that we can't even begin to comprehend. The alien theory doesn't just apply to the Great Pyramid, though. Other ancient structures around the world, such as the megalithic stone circles of Stonehenge in England and the massive stone statues on Easter Island, have also been cited as evidence of extraterrestrial involvement in human history. These structures, like the pyramids, share certain characteristics. They are made of enormous stones that were carefully placed with remarkable precision, and they align with celestial bodies in ways that suggest advanced astronomical knowledge. Could these ancient civilizations have all been part of a larger interstellar network of knowledge, passed down by beings from other planets? Some theorists believe that the presence of similar structures on multiple continents points to a shared origin, one that may have involved extraterrestrial guidance. Of course, many experts and scholars reject this theory, arguing that the ancient Egyptians, like other ancient civilizations, were fully capable of constructing the pyramids with the technology available to them at the time. They point to the Egyptians' advanced understanding of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy as evidence that they were able to achieve such feats using their own ingenuity. The pyramids, they argue, are the product of human effort, not extraterrestrial influence. They also point out that there is no concrete evidence of any alien intervention in ancient Egypt, and that the celestial alignments in the pyramids can be explained by the Egyptians' deep knowledge of the stars and their religious beliefs. Still, the idea of extraterrestrial involvement remains an alluring one, and it taps into a larger universal curiosity about humanity's place in the cosmos. The idea that ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, may have been visited by beings from another world forces us to reconsider everything we know about human history and the origins of advanced technology. If extraterrestrials did play a role in the construction of the pyramids, what does that say about the evolution of human civilization? Could we, as a species, be the descendants of an ancient, advanced race that was guided by extraterrestrial visitors? Even if the alien theory doesn't turn out to be true, the questions it raises are worth considering. The pyramids are a testament to the incredible ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians, and the mysteries surrounding their construction continue to fascinate and inspire people from all walks of life. Whether they were built by human hands or assisted by beings from another world, the pyramids remain an awe-inspiring symbol of humanity's quest to achieve greatness, to leave a lasting legacy, and to reach for the stars. As we continue to study these ancient monuments, one thing remains clear: the pyramids are far more than just tombs. They are a cosmic mystery that challenges our understanding of history, and no matter how much we learn, they will always hold secrets that will inspire questions, wonder, and curiosity for generations to come. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, the pyramids are not just monuments to the past. They may be clues to something much bigger than we can imagine. The theory of a lost, advanced civilization predating ancient Egypt is one of the most captivating and mysterious ideas surrounding the construction of the pyramids. This theory suggests that the Egyptians may not have been the first to possess the kind of advanced knowledge required to build such monumental structures, and instead, they may have inherited this knowledge from a long-lost civilization, one so advanced that it could have had the technology, architecture, and engineering skills necessary to create these grand structures. Among the most famous lost civilizations is Atlantis, a mysterious, technologically advanced society that, according to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, existed around 11,000 years ago. Plato's writings describe a society that was rich in culture, knowledge, and power, but was said to have sunk into the ocean in a catastrophic event, leaving behind only myths and legends. Now, many scholars and thinkers have taken this idea and expanded it, suggesting that Atlantis, or another similar ancient civilization, may have existed and shared its knowledge with the Egyptians, enabling them to construct the pyramids and other monumental structures that we still marvel at today. But could such a lost civilization really have existed? And if it did, could it have passed on its wisdom to the Egyptians, guiding them in the creation of the Great Pyramid of Giza and the other wonders of ancient Egypt? To answer that question, we need to examine the clues that might suggest this connection. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the existence of a lost civilization is the sheer scale and precision of the pyramids themselves. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built around 2580 BC, remains the largest and most precise stone structure ever built by humans. Even with modern technology, engineers and architects would struggle to replicate its construction with the same level of precision and scale. The pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass, and its dimensions reflect mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio, both of which were discovered by modern scientists only thousands of years later. How could a civilization with no advanced measuring instruments, no cranes, and no machinery achieve such precision without some form of advanced knowledge? This is where the theory of a lost civilization begins to take shape. Some proponents of this theory suggest that the Egyptians didn't invent the technology used to build the pyramids. They may have inherited it from a much older civilization, one that had already perfected the art of architecture, engineering, and astronomy. If we look at the idea of Atlantis, it's easy to imagine that a society so advanced could have had the knowledge and tools to build the kind of monumental structures that the Egyptians are credited with. Atlantis, as described by Plato, was a society that possessed advanced technology and wisdom far beyond what was known in ancient Egypt. And it's not hard to imagine that the survivors of such a society could have passed down their knowledge to the Egyptians, either directly or indirectly. So, how would this transfer of knowledge have happened? Some believe that after the fall of Atlantis, survivors may have spread out across the ancient world, bringing with them the secrets of construction, astronomy, and engineering. In fact, some researchers speculate that the Egyptians may have received this knowledge through direct contact with these survivors, or perhaps through ancient trade routes that allowed the exchange of ideas, artifacts, and technologies. The spread of knowledge from one ancient civilization to another is not an uncommon phenomenon. History is full of examples of cultures influencing one another, especially through trade and travel. Could this have been the case for Egypt? Could the knowledge of how to construct monumental buildings have been passed down from a more advanced civilization like Atlantis and become the foundation upon which Egypt's pyramid-building culture was built? As we explore further, we begin to see more evidence that supports the idea of a lost, advanced civilization influencing the Egyptians. For example, the Egyptians had an advanced understanding of astronomy, something that is crucial for the alignment of the pyramids with the stars. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned with incredible accuracy to the stars of Orion's belt, a constellation that was associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife in Egyptian mythology. This alignment wasn't just a random occurrence. It was an intentional design to connect the pharaoh's soul to the stars, ensuring his immortality. The precise placement of these stars in the pyramid's design indicates a level of astronomical knowledge that goes beyond what we might expect from a civilization with no advanced tools for observing the night sky. How could the Egyptians have known to align their pyramids with Orion, a constellation that was so important to their beliefs, without some kind of advanced astronomical knowledge passed down from an older, more sophisticated civilization? This connection between the stars and the pyramids is particularly fascinating because it suggests that the ancient Egyptians may have had access to lost knowledge about the cosmos. The pyramids were not just tombs. They were cosmic gateways designed to help the pharaohs ascend to the heavens and join the gods. This knowledge, this understanding of the cosmos, could very well have come from a lost civilization that had mastered astronomy and could communicate with the stars in ways we still do not fully understand. But it's not just astronomy that ties the Egyptians to a lost civilization. The advanced building techniques used to construct the pyramids also raise interesting questions. The stones used in the construction of the Great Pyramid weigh several tons each, and some of them come from quarries that are located miles away from the pyramid site. How did the Egyptians transport and place these massive stones with such precision? The traditional theory involves ramps and levers, but the scale of the project seems to require something more advanced, something that could have been passed down from a civilization with greater technology and engineering knowledge. Some researchers have speculated that ancient civilizations like Atlantis could have used methods like energy manipulation, anti-gravity, or sound vibration to move and lift the massive stones. While these ideas sound far-fetched, they do raise intriguing possibilities about the advanced technology that could have existed long before the Egyptians built their pyramids. Could the Egyptians have inherited the tools, the knowledge, and the will to build such monumental buildings from a lost civilization? It's certainly a possibility. And this idea raises even more questions about the true origins of pyramid construction. Could the ancient Egyptians have been part of a larger, interconnected network of civilizations that shared knowledge, technology, and wisdom? Could the pyramids have been the product of not just Egyptian ingenuity, but the culmination of a much older, more advanced culture that had already mastered the art of monumental construction? The theory of a lost civilization doesn't just explain the mysteries of the pyramids. It opens up an entirely new way of thinking about the development of ancient civilizations. It challenges us to reconsider the origins of human knowledge and achievement, and to ask ourselves, what if the answers we're seeking lie not in the records of ancient Egypt, but in the lost ruins of civilizations that have been forgotten by time? As we continue to explore the pyramids and other ancient wonders, we're reminded that history is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and the possibility of a lost civilization influencing Egypt's monumental achievements adds a new layer of intrigue to the puzzle. Could this lost civilization have been Atlantis, a society that was so far ahead of its time that its knowledge was passed down through the ages, shaping the course of human history? Or was it another ancient civilization, one that existed long before the rise of Egypt, whose knowledge was lost in the sands of time? The search for these answers continues, and the mysteries of the pyramids remind us that the history of humanity is still full of secrets waiting to be discovered. Whether the Egyptians built the pyramids on their own, or whether they were the inheritors of ancient knowledge passed down through the ages, the pyramids will always remain a testament to human ambition, creativity, and the mysteries of our past. So who really built the pyramids? And why do we keep searching for the answer, even today, thousands of years after their construction? What is it about these ancient wonders that continue to captivate our imaginations, sparking curiosity and debate across the world? The question seems simple, but the deeper we dive, the more we realize that the answer is far from straightforward. Could the pyramids be more than just tombs for the pharaohs? Could they be a message from the past? A clue hidden in plain sight? A secret waiting to be uncovered? A truth so profound that it could change everything we know about human history? The pyramids are more than just monuments to ancient Egypt's greatness. They are symbols of something deeper, something that has mystified scholars, scientists, and ordinary people alike for centuries. They stand as towering enigmas, not just because of their size or grandeur, but because of the questions they raise about the nature of human achievement, the limits of ancient knowledge, and the potential connections between civilizations that may have been lost to time. And the answers we're searching for could unravel more than just the mysteries of Egypt. They could shed light on the very origins of human civilization itself. But the mystery doesn't end with the question of who built the pyramids. As we continue to peel back the layers of history, the real question becomes, how were these structures built? What tools, methods, and technologies did the Egyptians, or perhaps others, use to construct them? We know that the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed using over 2.3 million massive stone blocks, each weighing several tons, and that it was completed with a level of precision that even modern engineers find hard to replicate. The construction of the pyramids involved far more than just brute force. It required advanced knowledge of mathematics, geometry, astronomy, and engineering, knowledge that seems almost ahead of its time. What tools did they use to shape and transport these giant stones? Did they have access to technologies that have been lost to history? Did they employ methods that have yet to be discovered? Methods that could revolutionize our understanding of ancient engineering? Stay with us as we continue to delve deeper into this mystery, because the answer to how the pyramids were built could be even more incredible than you might think. The science and engineering behind their construction could change everything we know about ancient Egypt, and perhaps even challenge the very foundations of history itself. We've only scratched the surface. The journey has just begun, and we're about to explore the fascinating world of ancient construction techniques, the tools that may have been used, and the technologies that could have powered the creation of these magnificent monuments. Are the answers hidden within the stones themselves, waiting to be uncovered by modern science? Or is there something even more profound at work here? A discovery that could rewrite the story of human history? Stay with us as we continue this journey into the heart of the pyramids, and prepare to be amazed by the revelations that are yet to come. The pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, are not only awe-inspiring because of their sheer size and grandeur, but also because they are mathematical and astronomical marvels. When we think of the Great Pyramid, we often think of a massive stone structure built as a tomb for a pharaoh, a symbol of ancient Egypt's power and religious belief. However, as we begin to delve deeper into the precision, the design, and the construction of these pyramids, we start to realize something much more complex. These structures may be the embodiment of the Egyptians' profound understanding of geometry, mathematics, and astronomy. The pyramids may have been designed with far more than just architectural skill. They may have been built with an intricate knowledge of the fundamental laws of nature itself. The Great Pyramid, which was constructed during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu, around 2580 BC, holds within its structure a perfect example of geometric principles that were ahead of their time. For example, the ratio of the perimeter of the Great Pyramid to its height closely approximates pi, the mathematical constant representing the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. How could the ancient Egyptians, who had no access to modern instruments or computers, have designed the pyramid with such precise mathematical ratios that, when we look at it today, it seems to reflect modern mathematical constants? Let's take a closer look at this connection between the pyramid and pi. The perimeter of the Great Pyramid is nearly equal to twice the height multiplied by pi. This is an extraordinary coincidence, or is it? It's almost as if the Egyptians had an advanced understanding of mathematical concepts that were rediscovered only thousands of years later. The perimeter of the pyramid is approximately 3,031.5 feet, and its height is 481.4 feet. When we multiply the height by 2 and pi, we get a result very close to the perimeter's measurement. Now, this might seem like a coincidence, but considering that pi is fundamental to understanding circles and geometry, could it be that the ancient Egyptians had an inherent understanding of these principles, using them to build one of the greatest structures in history? This precision wasn't just a happy accident. The Egyptians likely knew that the ratios and proportions they were using had practical benefits, but they also had spiritual significance. In ancient Egyptian philosophy, the idea of harmony between the earthly and the divine was paramount, and geometry was seen as the key to unlocking this divine order. The concept of order was central to Egyptian religion and culture. Mat, the principle of cosmic balance, was the very foundation of their society. The pyramid, as a grand structure, wasn't just about tombs or royal grandeur. It was also a symbol of order, a physical manifestation of divine knowledge, and a structure that mirrored the mathematical principles found in nature. The Egyptians didn't just use pi and the golden ratio in the design of the pyramids. They also used these principles in other aspects of their architecture and art. Many of their temples, tombs, and other structures were designed using ratios that reflect the same mathematical principles. For instance, the entrance of the Temple of Karnak aligns with the solstice, and the proportions of the temple's design are based on the principles of geometry, reflecting a deep understanding of space, measurement, and the natural world. And it's not just pi and the golden ratio that make the pyramids mathematically remarkable. The Great Pyramid's angles are another example of the Egyptians' mathematical genius. The slope of the Great Pyramid's sides is set at a precise 51 degrees, 51 minutes. This angle is significant in the world of architecture and construction because it represents the optimal angle for a pyramid to stand tall and stable. It's the perfect angle for creating a pyramid structure that won't collapse under its own weight, ensuring the pyramid's longevity. Something that modern architects would likely recommend today if they were designing something similar. How did the ancient Egyptians, without modern surveying tools or computers, come to such a precise understanding of structural engineering? Was it simply trial and error, or was there something more profound at work? Now, if we go further into the realm of astronomy, things get even more fascinating. The Egyptians were incredibly knowledgeable about the stars, and they used this knowledge not just for navigation or timekeeping, but as a critical part of their religious beliefs. The Great Pyramid is perfectly aligned with the cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. Something that would have been difficult to achieve with the primitive tools available at the time. The precision with which the Great Pyramid is aligned to the cardinal directions is astonishing, and this level of accuracy suggests that the Egyptians had a profound understanding of astronomy. They must have been able to measure and track the stars, perhaps even with instruments that we no longer have access to today. The alignment of the pyramids with the stars, particularly the star Sirius and the constellation Orion, is another piece of the puzzle. The Egyptians associated the star Sirius with the goddess Isis and the constellation of Orion with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. The Great Pyramid, in particular, aligns with the stars of Orion's belt, which was seen as the gateway for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the afterlife. The alignment with the stars wasn't just about the pyramid being a tomb. It was a carefully crafted structure that allowed the pharaoh to connect with the gods, to journey from the physical world to the spiritual one. The Egyptians had a deep understanding of celestial events, and their pyramids were a physical representation of their cosmic beliefs. Now, let's talk about the scale of the project. The Great Pyramid was constructed with over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons, and was completed in just over 20 years. The project required the labor of tens of thousands of workers, artisans, and architects, all coordinating to ensure that the construction was precise and accurate. But how did they manage such a colossal task? The answer lies in their advanced understanding of geometry and mathematics. The Egyptians didn't just throw stones together. They meticulously planned every detail, using their knowledge of proportions, measurements, and angles to create a structure that was not only stable, but also symbolic of their cosmic beliefs. But here's the real question. How did the Egyptians come to possess this advanced understanding of geometry, astronomy, and mathematics? Were these principles passed down through generations, slowly refined by Egyptian scholars and engineers? Or did they inherit this knowledge from an ancient civilization that had already mastered these principles? Perhaps one that existed long before Egypt rose to power? The mystery surrounding the origins of the Egyptians' mathematical knowledge raises questions that we may never fully answer, but it's clear that the pyramids weren't just built to house a pharaoh's body. They were constructed to reflect the very laws of the universe itself. The idea that the Egyptians may have possessed advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy long before it was officially recognized in history forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about ancient civilizations. Could the Great Pyramid, with all its geometric perfection and celestial alignment, be evidence of a much deeper understanding of the world? A knowledge that transcends time and place, one that may have been passed down through ancient civilizations, lost in the sands of time? As we continue to explore the mysteries of the pyramids, the question lingers. Were the ancient Egyptians simply ahead of their time, or did they inherit knowledge from an even older, more advanced civilization? The truth, perhaps, is far more remarkable than we can even begin to imagine. What we do know is that the pyramids are not just marvels of architecture. They are windows into a much larger and more complex understanding of the universe. And as we uncover more about their construction, we may find that the Egyptians, through their mathematical genius, left behind a legacy that challenges the very foundation of human history. The alignment of the pyramids with the stars is not just a fascinating coincidence. It's a cornerstone of the ancient Egyptians' belief system, their understanding of the cosmos, and perhaps even their attempt to transcend earthly existence. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is not only a monumental feat of engineering, but it also represents a deeply spiritual and astronomical purpose. The precision with which it is aligned with the stars, particularly with Orion's belt and the star Sirius, suggests that the Egyptians saw the heavens as a direct link to the afterlife and the gods. Orion, in particular, was closely associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife, resurrection, and eternal life. For the Egyptians, Osiris was the ruler of the underworld, and his connection to the stars, especially to the constellation of Orion, was central to their spiritual beliefs. The ancient Egyptians believed that the soul of the pharaoh, upon death, would ascend to the heavens and join Osiris. The positioning of the Great Pyramid in alignment with Orion's belt, along with the other pyramids of Giza, reflects this belief, serving as a pathway for the pharaoh's soul to travel to the stars and join the gods. This wasn't just an artistic or architectural decision. It was a deeply spiritual one, reflecting the Egyptians' desire for the pharaoh to be immortal, to transcend the mortal world, and to be reborn into the afterlife. But what's even more remarkable is the alignment of the pyramids with the star Sirius, which played a crucial role in Egyptian religion and cosmology. The star Sirius was associated with the goddess Isis, the sister and wife of Osiris, and it was believed to be the celestial counterpart of the pharaoh's soul. The rise of Sirius in the sky signaled the start of the annual flooding of the Nile River, which brought fertile soil and abundance to Egypt, an event that was seen as a divine blessing. The Egyptians believed that the rising of Sirius marked the renewal of life, and it was the key to understanding both the physical world and the spiritual one. The alignment of the Great Pyramid with Sirius shows how important this star was in the Egyptians' worldview, acting as a guide for the pharaoh's soul on its journey to eternity. So why is the precision of these alignments so significant? The alignment of the pyramids with the stars wasn't just about decoration or symbolic representation. It was a carefully calculated effort to ensure that the pharaoh's soul could traverse the heavens with the greatest precision, guided by the stars themselves. The Egyptians knew that the stars held the key to unlocking the divine order, Ma'at, which was the balance of the cosmos, and they used this knowledge in the construction of the pyramids. The exact alignment with Orion's belt and Sirius reveals a level of astronomical knowledge that goes far beyond what we would expect from an ancient civilization. To achieve such precise alignments, the Egyptians would have needed not only advanced tools for measuring and observing the stars, but also an understanding of the movements of the heavens that was so sophisticated, it still amazes us today. Let's take a deeper look at how this precision was achieved. The Great Pyramid is aligned within 0.05 degrees of true north. The ability to achieve this level of precision, without the aid of modern tools or even compasses, speaks volumes about the Egyptians' knowledge of geometry, astronomy, and engineering. But how did they do it? Some theories suggest that the Egyptians used the stars themselves to guide them, employing what is known as star sightings, or star alignments, to determine direction. By observing the movement of certain stars across the night sky, they could use the position of the stars to accurately align their monuments. This technique would have required a deep understanding of the stars' movements, as well as a method for tracking them over time, a skill that many believe was passed down through generations of priests, astronomers, and architects. The question then arises, could the Egyptians have possessed this knowledge on their own, or did they inherit it from an even older, more advanced civilization? Some have speculated that the knowledge required to build such precise monuments could have come from a lost civilization, perhaps one that was far more advanced than the Egyptians themselves. one that passed down the secrets of celestial alignment, geometry, and cosmic order to the Egyptians. This theory suggests that the Egyptians were not the originators of this knowledge, but the recipients of ancient wisdom, passed down through secret teachings, sacred texts, or ancient artifacts. If this theory is true, it raises even more questions. Who were these ancient teachers, and how did they acquire such knowledge? Some also believe that the alignment of the pyramids with the stars may have been an attempt to communicate with extraterrestrial beings. While this might sound like something straight out of science fiction, it is a theory that has gained traction among some researchers and enthusiasts. The idea is that the Egyptians, with their advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics, may have been attempting to communicate with extraterrestrials who had visited Earth in ancient times. The precision of the pyramids' alignment with specific stars, along with the mystery surrounding their construction, has led some to propose that the pyramids were designed not just as tombs, but as beacons, signal devices meant to reach out into the cosmos. Could it be that the Egyptians, with their profound understanding of the stars, were trying to send a message to beings from other worlds? Were the pyramids part of a larger cosmic plan, a signal that reached out beyond the earthly realm? Could the alignment of the pyramids with Orion and Sirius have been a way for the Egyptians to communicate with extraterrestrial entities, perhaps seeking guidance or knowledge from the stars? This theory remains speculative, but it certainly adds an intriguing layer to the mystery of the pyramids, one that challenges our conventional understanding of ancient Egypt and their relationship with the cosmos. The fact remains that the pyramids, and especially the Great Pyramid of Giza, are extraordinary not just for their size, but for their precision and alignment with the stars. They are celestial structures designed to connect the pharaohs to the divine, guiding their souls on a journey to eternity, and possibly even connecting them to something far beyond this world. The idea that the pyramids were built to align with the stars, guiding the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife, is a powerful reminder of the Egyptians' belief in the cosmic order, the divine connection between the earth and the heavens, and their desire for immortality. But even as we marvel at the alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt and Sirius, we must remember that the question of whether the Egyptians built these structures purely for spiritual reasons, or whether there was an attempt to communicate with extraterrestrials, is still one of the greatest mysteries of ancient history. What was the true purpose of these alignments? Were the Egyptians simply seeking to honor their gods and connect with the cosmos, or were they reaching out to something, or someone, beyond the stars? These questions remain unanswered, but the pyramids continue to stand as symbols of both the mystery of the past and the infinite possibilities of the future. Whether they were built as tombs, cosmic gateways, or communication devices, one thing is certain. The pyramids are more than just ancient stone structures. They are the embodiment of humanity's quest for immortality, knowledge, and connection with the divine. As we peel back the layers of history, one of the most intriguing questions surrounding the pyramids and the ancient Egyptians is how they could have possibly built such monumental structures using what we would consider primitive tools. The traditional image of Egyptian craftsmen chiseling away at stones with copper tools is certainly awe-inspiring. But what if the reality is far more complex and astonishing? Could the Egyptians have had access to advanced tools and technology that have been lost to history? Could there have been a more sophisticated method of construction at play? Tools and techniques far beyond what we typically associate with ancient civilizations? Let's take a step back and look at the pyramid building process. The Great Pyramid of Giza, which is still one of the most precisely constructed structures in the world, was built with over 2.3 million stone blocks. These blocks, which weigh anywhere from 2 to 70 tons, were quarried and transported from distant locations, some of them coming from quarries hundreds of miles away. The precision with which these massive blocks were cut and placed is still baffling. Modern engineers and architects would find it difficult to replicate this kind of construction with our most advanced technology. So, how did the Egyptians manage to do it? The answer could lie in a theory known as lost technology. The idea that the Egyptians had access to advanced tools, methods, and knowledge that have been lost over time. This isn't just about physical tools. It's also about a deeper understanding of forces, energies, and materials that we may not fully comprehend today. What if the ancient Egyptians weren't just skilled laborers, but had access to technologies capable of manipulating energy, vibration, or even sound to achieve their architectural feats? One of the most fascinating ideas regarding the tools the Egyptians may have used is the theory of sonic or vibrational technology. What if they harnessed sound frequencies? Vibrations capable of levitating, shaping, or moving massive stones with minimal effort. This theory isn't as far-fetched as it sounds when we consider the properties of sound waves. In modern times, we already know that sound can manipulate physical objects. For example, scientists have demonstrated how sound waves can cause small objects to levitate, a process known as acoustic levitation. This happens when sound waves create a pressure that can lift or move an object without touching it. Could the Egyptians have discovered a way to harness this phenomenon and use it to move the massive stones that make up the pyramids? Imagine this, a sound frequency so perfectly tuned that it could vibrate the stone blocks, making them easier to move, align, and cut. It could even have been used to create precision cuts, almost like a modern-day laser cutter. This idea ties into the ancient Egyptian fascination with sound, music, and vibration. We know that music and certain frequencies have deep spiritual significance in many ancient cultures, including Egypt, where sound was believed to have healing and transformative powers. Could the Egyptians have used this understanding to create a technology that allowed them to manipulate stone and heavy materials with the power of sound? This idea was explored in the work of researchers like Joseph Davidovits, who proposed that the Egyptians could have used some form of vibrational energy to cut stone with extreme precision. Imagine a technology so advanced that it could cut through solid granite, something that's incredibly hard by modern standards, with nothing more than energy waves. Could the Egyptians have had access to this type of knowledge, lost to history over time? The ancient Egyptians were certainly adept at using materials and techniques that, to us, seem like a mixture of science, magic, and art. But what if the Egyptians didn't just use sound or vibration to shape the stones? What if they also had access to materials that were far harder and more advanced than anything we have today? Some researchers believe that the Egyptians may have possessed tools made from materials so hard they could cut through even the toughest stone with ease. We know that the Egyptians worked with various types of stone, including limestone, granite, and basalt. Granite, in particular, is notoriously difficult to cut and shape, but evidence suggests that the Egyptians were able to do so with remarkable precision. One possible explanation is the existence of tools made from materials that were harder than the stones they were cutting, perhaps even materials we no longer have access to today. There's speculation that the Egyptians may have used a form of diamond-tipped tools, or some kind of lost super-hard substance, to cut through granite and other hard stones with the level of accuracy seen in the pyramids. The idea of lost technologies isn't new. Many ancient civilizations are believed to have had access to materials and knowledge that modern society has either forgotten or never discovered. What if the Egyptians were part of this ancient tradition, using tools or materials that have since been lost to time, buried beneath the sands of history? Another possibility that has been raised is the use of laser-like cutting techniques. While lasers might sound like something only modern technology could create, some researchers suggest that the Egyptians could have had access to some form of energy that allowed them to cut through stone with a precision that seems almost impossible today. Could the ancient Egyptians have been using technology akin to lasers, some form of concentrated energy or focused light that could cut, shape, or even levitate massive stones? This idea challenges the conventional wisdom that the Egyptians relied solely on physical labor and rudimentary tools. Instead, It suggests that they may have had access to a sophisticated technology that we are only now beginning to understand. What if the Egyptians didn't just have tools in the traditional sense, but also a deeper understanding of how to manipulate energy itself? There's evidence to suggest that the ancient Egyptians were deeply in tune with natural forces, such as the energy fields of the earth, the vibrations of the cosmos, and the cycles of the sun and stars. Could they have learned to tap into this energy, using it to assist with the construction of the pyramids? Some theorists suggest that the pyramids themselves might have been designed to harness and amplify certain natural energies, whether they were electromagnetic, gravitational, or even vibrational. The precise alignment of the pyramids with the stars, combined with their size and structure, could have created a sort of energy field that the Egyptians were able to harness, making it easier to move and manipulate the massive stones used in the construction process. The idea of energy manipulation is also supported by the existence of strange artifacts and carvings found within ancient Egyptian tombs and temples. Some researchers point to depictions of what appear to be advanced tools, like torches, that could produce fire or energy, and suggest that the Egyptians may have used energy sources in ways that we can't quite comprehend today. Were these tools part of an ancient technology that has been lost to history, or are they simply symbolic representations? The truth is, we may never fully understand the full extent of the Egyptians' knowledge and capabilities, but the evidence suggests that they were not just relying on basic tools like copper chisels. They were masters of an advanced and now lost technology. The more we dig into the mysteries of the pyramids, the more we realize that there may have been far more going on than simple manual labor. The idea that the Egyptians used advanced tools and technology, possibly tools that have been lost to history, raises important questions about the true nature of ancient Egyptian civilization. Were they simply advanced craftsmen with remarkable skill, or did they have access to secret technologies passed down from an earlier, more advanced civilization? The idea of lost technologies isn't just limited to the Egyptians. Many ancient civilizations, from the Sumerians to the Mayans, are believed to have possessed knowledge that we have only just begun to understand. As we continue to uncover new evidence, explore ancient texts, and theorize about lost knowledge, the mystery of how the Egyptians built the pyramids becomes even more fascinating. Whether it was sonic energy, super hard tools, or a form of energy manipulation that we can only dream of, the construction of the pyramids raises questions about the potential capabilities of ancient civilizations. Did they have access to technologies that modern society has lost? And if so, what else have we forgotten or overlooked in the annals of history? As we explore these questions, we open the door to an entirely new understanding of the ancient world, one where knowledge, technology, and human ingenuity were far more advanced than we could have ever imagined. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the Great Pyramid of Giza, we are reminded that, even after centuries of study, this ancient wonder still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. In recent years, modern technology has allowed scientists to peer inside the pyramid and discover hidden chambers that have been concealed for thousands of years. Ground-penetrating radar and wand tomography, two cutting-edge technologies, have revealed possible voids and hidden rooms within the pyramid structure, spaces that may hold the answers to questions we've been asking for centuries. The latest discovery, made in 2017, involved a team of researchers using wand tomography to detect an unexplained void deep inside the Great Pyramid. What is this void? Could it be a hidden chamber? A secret room that has remained untouched for millennia? Or is it simply empty space, an illusion created by the pyramid's intricate structure? Wand tomography works by detecting muons, elementary particles that pass through solid objects like a cosmic X-ray to reveal hidden voids. This technology has allowed scientists to peer deep inside the Great Pyramid without disturbing its ancient stones, and the results have been truly fascinating. In 2017, researchers discovered a large void, approximately 30 meters long, located above the Grand Gallery, one of the most significant areas in the pyramid. This void is unlike any other space that has been previously documented within the pyramid, and its purpose remains unknown. Could this be the hidden chamber we've all been waiting for? A room that contains lost artifacts, hidden scrolls, or perhaps even a clue to the true purpose of the pyramid that we've overlooked for so long. Imagine the possibilities. What if this chamber contains scrolls written by ancient priests, detailing the true construction techniques, or revealing the secrets of how the pyramid was used as a cosmic power generator, as some theories suggest? Could it contain evidence of a lost civilization, or perhaps even tools that were used by the Egyptians to harness energy in ways we can't yet comprehend? The discovery of this void has sparked the imagination of researchers and enthusiasts alike, raising tantalizing questions about what might lie hidden within the walls of the pyramid. But while we don't yet know what the void contains, we do know one thing: the pyramid's mysteries are far from over. And this leads us to a fascinating theory about the potential purpose of these hidden chambers. Could some of these secret rooms have been designed for a cosmic or spiritual purpose? The ancient Egyptians had a profound belief in the afterlife, and they saw the stars as an integral part of their spiritual journey. Could it be that one of these hidden chambers was aligned with the stars or certain planetary configurations, playing a key role in the pharaoh's journey to the heavens? The idea of a cosmic chamber isn't as far-fetched as it might seem when you consider the pyramid's incredible alignment with celestial bodies. The Great Pyramid of Giza was not just a tomb. It was a cosmic machine designed to help the pharaoh's soul ascend to the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the soul's journey didn't end with death, but continued into the stars, where it would join the gods in the heavens. The alignment of the pyramid with Orion's belt and its connection to the star Sirius suggests that the pyramid may have been part of a much larger spiritual design, one that was carefully planned to align the pharaoh's soul with the stars upon death. If one of these hidden chambers was connected to this spiritual journey, it might have been designed to amplify the soul's ascent, a space where cosmic energies could be focused, or where the pharaoh could be prepared for their eternal journey. Could these hidden chambers have been used for rituals, ceremonies, or celestial alignments that facilitated the pharaoh's passage to the afterlife? Some theories suggest that certain chambers may have served as an astronomical observatory, aligning with specific stars or planetary movements to assure that the pharaoh's soul could be guided to the heavens at the right moment. The use of cosmic energy, sound frequencies, and even the pyramid's material properties could have played a role in this ancient spiritual process, transforming the Great Pyramid into a vessel for the soul's ascension. The more we learn about these hidden chambers, the more we realize how intricately the Egyptians wove their religious beliefs into the fabric of the pyramid's design. The pyramids weren't just tombs for the pharaohs. They were spiritual beacons designed to connect the pharaoh's soul with the divine. Whether it was through the power of the stars, the alignment of the chambers, or the potential use of hidden technologies, the pyramids were seen as more than just structures. They were part of an eternal plan, a divine mechanism that ensured the pharaoh's immortality. But as much as we've uncovered, the question still remains: what secrets are hidden in the chambers that have yet to be discovered? Will further exploration of the Great Pyramid reveal even more evidence of its cosmic and spiritual significance? Could we one day uncover ancient scrolls or artifacts that detail the true purpose behind these hidden spaces, offering us a glimpse into the Egyptians' advanced understanding of the afterlife and the cosmos? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: as we continue to explore the mysteries of the Great Pyramid, we are only scratching the surface of a much deeper, more profound understanding of ancient Egypt's spiritual and architectural achievements. The mystery of the hidden chambers and the potential cosmic purpose of these spaces keeps us captivated, reminding us that the pyramids are not just monuments of stone, but symbols of the ancient Egyptians' deep understanding of the universe. These incredible structures continue to challenge our views on what was possible in the ancient world. And as we uncover more of their secrets, we may find that the true purpose of the pyramids is far more complex and awe-inspiring than we ever imagined. The discovery of hidden chambers is just the beginning. Who knows what else lies waiting to be revealed beneath the surface of these ancient wonders? The construction of the pyramids was not just an architectural feat, it was deeply spiritual. The Egyptians believed that these monumental structures had a divine purpose far beyond the burial of their pharaohs. The pyramid was seen as a vehicle, a cosmic elevator, if you will, that would carry the pharaoh's soul from the earthly realm to the afterlife, a journey to join the gods and live forever among the stars. But in order to ensure that the pharaoh's soul could make this transition smoothly, rituals and ceremonies were an integral part of the pyramid's creation. The rituals performed during the construction and dedication of the pyramid were believed to be just as important as the pyramid itself, ensuring that the pharaoh's soul could ascend to the heavens without interference and that the divine order, Mat, would be maintained. Imagine for a moment the grandeur of these ceremonies. The pyramid itself wasn't just a tomb. It was a sacred space imbued with spiritual significance, designed to facilitate the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. This belief was so powerful that it shaped every aspect of the pyramid's construction and use. While the laborers, architects, and craftsmen were busy working on the stones and aligning the monument with celestial precision, high priests and spiritual leaders were performing elaborate rituals to honor the gods and ensure that the pharaoh's soul could successfully embark on its eternal journey. These ceremonies were conducted with reverence and ceremony, as the Egyptians believed that any mistake, any disruption, could result in the pharaoh's soul being lost, trapped in the mortal realm forever. One of the most fascinating aspects of these rituals is the possibility of human sacrifice. While it's still a topic of debate among scholars, some believe that the Egyptians performed human sacrifices as part of these rituals, offering the lives of servants, high priests, or even prisoners to honor the gods and to accompany the pharaoh's soul into the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians saw death as a continuation of life, and the journey to the afterlife was just as important, if not more so, than the life lived on earth. In this view, offering the pharaoh's servants or sacrificial victims ensured that they would accompany the ruler into eternity, helping him navigate the dangers of the underworld and ensuring that the pharaoh's soul would have the support it needed to reach the heavens. The idea of human sacrifice, though controversial and often exaggerated in modern portrayals, reflects the intense spiritual beliefs of the Egyptians. For them, the afterlife was a continuation of the divine order and sacrifices, whether human, animal, or offerings of food and treasure, were ways to honor the gods and ensure the pharaoh's journey was successful. These rituals may have been performed in secret, behind closed doors, within the heart of the pyramid itself. Could it be that there were chambers within the pyramid where these sacred rites were carried out, where offerings were made, and where the pharaoh's soul was prepared for its cosmic ascent? The notion of secret ceremonies performed within the pyramid's chambers adds an air of mystery to the entire process, making the pyramid not only a tomb, but a sacred site for cosmic rituals. Even more intriguing is the symbolic importance of the pyramid's shape. The pyramid was not just a structure to house the pharaoh's body. It was a powerful symbol of the sun, the source of life and energy in Egyptian cosmology. The Egyptians believed that the sun god Ra was the creator of life, and that the pharaoh's soul would travel with Ra to the heavens. The pyramid's shape, pointing upwards, resembles a ray of sunlight, symbolizing the pharaoh's ascent to the heavens. The very form of the pyramid was designed to help the pharaoh's soul journey upward, towards the stars and the divine realm. In Egyptian mythology, the sun's journey through the sky each day was mirrored by the journey of the pharaoh's soul through the afterlife. The rising and setting of the sun symbolized death and rebirth, with the pharaoh's soul believed to rise from the earth, journey through the underworld, and be reborn in the afterlife. The pyramid's pointed shape, then, was not just architectural. It was a cosmic representation of this cycle of life, death, and rebirth, an eternal connection between the pharaoh, the sun, and the gods. Every angle, every passage, and every chamber within the pyramid was part of a carefully constructed system designed to mirror the journey of the sun and ensure the pharaoh's soul would be reborn in the afterlife. But how do we know that these rituals and ceremonies were as elaborate and spiritually significant as we believe? What evidence do we have that these secret ceremonies were carried out within the pyramid? And how were the pharaohs truly prepared for their ascent to the heavens? The answer lies in the intricate designs and symbolic features embedded within the pyramids themselves. Take, for example, the shafts in the Great Pyramid. These narrow passageways, which run from the king's chamber to the outside, align with specific stars, including the star Alnitak in the constellation of Orion and the star Sirius. These shafts may have been designed to act as channels for the pharaoh's soul, allowing it to ascend to the heavens and join the gods, following the path of the stars. Could the internal chambers have been designed to amplify the spiritual significance of the pharaoh's journey? The Great Pyramid's precise alignment with the stars, the use of materials like limestone and granite that are thought to have energetic properties, and the possible use of hidden chambers all point to the possibility that the pyramid was not just a physical structure, but a spiritual vessel, designed to facilitate the pharaoh's transformation from mortal to divine. Every detail, from the shape of the pyramid to its internal layout, was likely intended to enhance the pharaoh's spiritual ascent. Perhaps one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that connects the pyramid's construction with rituals and spiritual beliefs is the Egyptian practice of Ka, the belief that the pharaoh had a spiritual counterpart, a soul that lived on after death. The pyramid was seen as a vessel to house the pharaoh's Ka, ensuring that it could travel to the afterlife and continue to serve as the pharaoh's representative in the divine world. The elaborate rituals performed during the pyramid's construction were designed to ensure the Ka's journey, ensuring that the pharaoh would be reborn and continue to rule from beyond the grave. These rituals and the pyramid's spiritual symbolism were a way for the Egyptians to bridge the gap between life and death, between the earthly realm and the cosmos. As we explore these hidden aspects of pyramid construction, we're reminded that the pyramids are far more than just stone structures. They are sacred symbols of divine order, spiritual transformation, and eternal life. They were built with the belief that the pharaoh's soul would ascend to the heavens, guided by the power of the sun and the stars, and that the pharaoh would continue to rule and protect Egypt from beyond the grave. The rituals, sacrifices, and ceremonies performed at the pyramid sites were all part of this grand spiritual plan, ensuring that the pharaoh's soul would be reborn into eternity. The mysteries surrounding the rituals and ceremonies of the pyramids continue to captivate us. Did the Egyptians truly perform human sacrifices within the pyramid's chambers? What secrets do these hidden rites hold about their deep connection to the cosmos and the afterlife? The pyramids, and the rituals associated with them, continue to raise more questions than answers, keeping us mesmerized by the ancient Egyptians' profound understanding of life, death, and the divine. And as we continue to search for answers, we realize that the true purpose of the pyramids may be far more complex and far-reaching than we could ever have imagined. When we look at the construction of the Egyptian pyramids, it's easy to think of them as a unique achievement of ancient Egypt. But what if I told you that the story of pyramid construction might not be as isolated as it seems? What if there were influences from other ancient cultures? Cultures like Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley, that played a role in shaping the knowledge and techniques used to build the pyramids? The idea that Egypt's pyramid builders may have been influenced by these distant civilizations is a fascinating one, and it suggests that there might have been a shared source of technological, astronomical, or even architectural knowledge passed down through ancient cultures. The civilizations of Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley were some of the earliest to develop sophisticated urban societies. In Mesopotamia, we see the construction of large ziggurats, step-like structures built to honor the gods, which, while not pyramids in the strictest sense, share similar architectural features. The ziggurats were designed to elevate the temple or shrine at their summit, providing a clear link to the idea of reaching the heavens, a concept very much shared by the Egyptians in their pyramid construction. Some researchers suggest that the architectural knowledge used in the construction of these ziggurats could have influenced Egyptian pyramid builders, particularly in the early stages of pyramid design. The same architectural principles, such as the idea of elevating structures toward the sky, could have been shared through trade or cultural exchange between these early civilizations. The Indus Valley Civilization, known for its advanced urban planning and engineering, also offers some intriguing connections to Egypt's pyramid construction. While there is no direct evidence of pyramid building in the Indus Valley, the culture's focus on precise measurements, city layouts, and the alignment of buildings with celestial bodies suggests that they too had a sophisticated understanding of geometry and astronomy, concepts that would have been crucial for pyramid construction. The idea that knowledge could have been shared across cultures is not as far-fetched as it may sound. Ancient cultures were far more interconnected than we often give them credit for, and trade routes existed that facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and knowledge. Now, let's broaden our conversation to include pyramids built in other parts of the world. Pyramid-like structures are found in regions as diverse as Mesoamerica, China, and even Southeast Asia. The step pyramids of Mesoamerica, built by the Mayans and the Aztecs, share certain similarities with Egyptian pyramids, particularly in terms of their step design and spiritual significance. These cultures built monumental pyramids for religious purposes, often with the aim of connecting the earth to the heavens, much like the Egyptians. The Mesoamerican pyramids were also often used for astronomical observations, a practice that echoes the Egyptians' own fascination with aligning their pyramids to celestial bodies. The most famous of these pyramids is the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, Mexico, which is aligned with the setting sun during specific times of the year. The Mayan pyramids, like the Pyramid of Kukulcán at Chichen Itza, are also astronomically aligned to mark important celestial events such as the equinox. Could these pyramids have been constructed independently, or was there some shared cultural or technological knowledge that allowed these distant civilizations to build similar structures? The striking similarities in pyramid design and astronomical alignment across these diverse cultures suggest that pyramid building was not a phenomenon limited to ancient Egypt, but rather a widespread practice that spanned across continents. One of the most fascinating theories is that there may have been a global civilization or trade network that spread knowledge of pyramid construction to different parts of the world. This could explain the similarities in pyramid designs and their cosmic alignments, as well as the shared symbolic purpose of connecting the earthly realm with the heavens. Some researchers propose that ancient civilizations might have had a form of global communication or exchange, whether through trade routes, seafaring expeditions, or even shared spiritual beliefs that linked them together. The idea of a global civilization or trade network is certainly compelling, especially when we consider how the ancient world was much more interconnected than we often imagine. Could the knowledge of pyramid building have been passed along these ancient trade routes from one civilization to the next? If we look at the evidence, it seems plausible that the idea of constructing pyramid-like structures may have been a part of a larger cultural or technological exchange, spreading from one part of the world to another. The pyramids in Egypt, the ziggurats in Mesopotamia, the pyramids of Mesoamerica, and the pyramid-shaped temples in Southeast Asia all share certain similarities in their design, function, and alignment with the cosmos. The idea that these ancient cultures might have been linked by a common knowledge of pyramid construction opens up exciting possibilities about the ancient world. The possibility of a shared ancient knowledge base raises another intriguing question. Could there have been a lost civilization, one that predates both Egypt and Mesopotamia, which possessed advanced knowledge of pyramid construction and passed it on to other cultures? The idea of a forgotten global civilization is a tantalizing one, and it has been proposed that the survivors of such a civilization might have scattered across the world, bringing their knowledge and techniques with them. This theory suggests that ancient civilizations didn't evolve in isolation, but rather through interaction and exchange, building upon each other's achievements in ways we're only beginning to understand. As we continue to uncover the connections between these ancient cultures, one thing becomes clear. The pyramids are far more than just monumental structures. They are symbols of a shared spiritual and cosmic understanding that transcends time and space. Whether they were built in Egypt, Mesoamerica, or Mesopotamia, the pyramids served a common purpose: to connect the earthly realm with the heavens, to honor the gods, and to guide the souls of the rulers to the afterlife. The similarities between these distant cultures suggest that pyramid construction was not an isolated phenomenon, but rather part of a broader global tradition that spanned across continents and centuries. The more we explore the influence of other cultures on the construction of the pyramids, the more we realize that these structures were not just products of individual civilizations, but part of a larger, interconnected world of ancient knowledge. The idea of a global civilization or trade network that spread the secrets of pyramid building across the world is an exciting possibility, one that challenges our understanding of ancient history and opens up new avenues for discovery. Could there have been a shared knowledge base that connected the pyramids of Egypt, Mesopotamia, Mesoamerica, and beyond? The mystery continues to unfold, and with each new discovery, we come closer to understanding how these ancient wonders were built, and what they truly represent in the grand tapestry of human history. When we think about the great civilizations of ancient history, Egypt often comes to mind first. The incredible achievements of the Egyptians, especially the construction of the pyramids, continue to amaze us today. But what if the Egyptians were not the originators of the knowledge and technology that enabled them to build these monuments? What if they were merely inheritors of a much older, more advanced civilization, one that had long since vanished from the earth? This brings us to one of the most intriguing and mysterious theories about ancient civilizations: the idea that the Egyptians may have been influenced by the lost city of Atlantis. The Atlantis theory has captivated the imaginations of historians, archaeologists, and adventurers for centuries. According to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was an advanced civilization that existed thousands of years ago, long before the rise of Egypt, Mesopotamia, or any other well-known ancient cultures. In his writings, Plato described Atlantis as a powerful, technologically advanced society with incredible knowledge of architecture, engineering, and even energy production. However, in a single catastrophic event, Atlantis disappeared beneath the waves of the ocean, leaving no trace behind except for the stories and legends passed down through time. Plato's account of Atlantis has been the subject of much debate and speculation, with some scholars dismissing it as myth and others seeing it as a potential glimpse into a real, lost civilization. But what if Atlantis was not just a story, a fable created by Plato to convey a moral lesson, but a real, advanced civilization that existed long before Egypt? What if the Egyptians were not the creators of the pyramid-building knowledge, but rather the inheritors of technologies and wisdom passed down from this ancient, lost society? Could the pyramids, the incredible astronomical alignments, and the advanced engineering techniques of ancient Egypt be the result of knowledge and technologies that were passed on from Atlantis, a civilization whose greatness was lost to time? The idea that Atlantis could have influenced the Egyptians is fascinating and raises many questions. Some researchers propose that the Egyptians inherited their knowledge of pyramid construction, astronomy, and geometry from the survivors of Atlantis. Could the knowledge that allowed the Egyptians to build the pyramids have been passed down to them from Atlantean survivors who traveled to Egypt after their homeland was destroyed. These survivors, possibly refugees from the sinking of Atlantis, could have brought with them the advanced knowledge of their civilization, teaching the Egyptians how to build monumental structures, align them with the stars, and harness the power of the earth in ways we can only begin to understand. If we explore this idea further, we must ask ourselves, what could Atlantis have been like? If it was as advanced as Plato described, then it must have had knowledge that far surpassed anything the Egyptians, or any other civilization of the time, could have achieved on their own. Could the Atlanteans have mastered technologies such as energy generation, advanced construction methods, and astronomical calculations that the Egyptians later inherited and used to build the pyramids? Could the Egyptians have been taught how to harness energy from the Earth's natural forces, or how to create perfect geometric structures that aligned with the stars, all based on the wisdom passed down from the Atlanteans? If this theory holds any truth, it would mean that the pyramids and other monumental structures in Egypt were not just the result of Egyptian ingenuity, but the culmination of ancient knowledge that had been passed down from an even older, more advanced culture. Plato's writings describe Atlantis as a society that was far more advanced than any civilization that came after it. The Atlanteans were said to possess not only incredible engineering skills, but also advanced knowledge of science, energy, and the natural world. Could the Egyptians have been the fortunate recipients of this knowledge? What if they didn't invent the art of pyramid construction or celestial alignment themselves, but instead learned these techniques from the Atlanteans, who had already perfected them centuries earlier? If we look at the advanced nature of Egyptian architecture and the precision with which the pyramids were built, it's not hard to imagine that the Egyptians could have inherited this knowledge from a lost civilization, one that was wiped off the map, taking its secrets with it, leaving the Egyptians to continue its legacy. But the mystery does not stop there. The idea of Atlantis being the source of ancient knowledge and technology ties into broader questions about the history of humanity itself. Could there have been a global network of advanced civilizations in ancient times, with knowledge and technology being exchanged across the world? What if the rise of the Egyptians, the Sumerians, and the civilizations of Mesoamerica were all influenced by this ancient global network, with the survivors of Atlantis spreading their knowledge to different parts of the world? The possibility that Atlantis was part of a larger, interconnected world of advanced civilizations opens up a host of exciting possibilities and challenges our traditional understanding of ancient history. The idea of a global civilization, one that spanned continents and shared knowledge of advanced technologies, might seem like science fiction, but when we look at the incredible similarities between the pyramids of Egypt, the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, and the step pyramids of Mesoamerica, we begin to see patterns that suggest a shared understanding of architecture, astronomy, and the use of energy. Could it be that these civilizations were all part of a greater cultural exchange, with knowledge of pyramid construction and cosmic alignment spreading from one culture to the next, passed down through trade routes or even direct contact between distant peoples? The idea that pyramid building was not an isolated phenomenon, but a widespread practice with shared origins, is a compelling one. And what about Lemuria, another lost civilization that some believe might have existed alongside Atlantis? The theory of Lemuria proposes that there was a vast, advanced landmass in the Pacific Ocean, home to a highly evolved culture that also possessed advanced knowledge of the stars, geometry, and energy manipulation. Could the knowledge that the Egyptians used to build the pyramids have come not only from Atlantis, but from Lemuria as well? Was there a greater ancient network of civilizations, each contributing to the development of pyramid building technology and passing their wisdom down through generations? The more we explore these theories, the more we realize that the mysteries surrounding the pyramids may be linked to something much bigger than we originally thought. The possibility that the Egyptians were not the creators of pyramid building knowledge, but rather the inheritors of lost technologies from Atlantis and other ancient civilizations, forces us to reconsider everything we know about human history. The pyramids, in this context, become not just monuments to the pharaohs, but symbols of the ancient wisdom and knowledge that was passed down through time, perhaps from a lost civilization that was far more advanced than we ever imagined. The story of the pyramids is far from complete, and the theory of Atlantis and other lost civilizations adds a whole new layer to the mystery. Could the Egyptians have been part of a greater ancient legacy, one that transcended time and space, passing down knowledge that shaped the course of human history? As we continue to investigate these possibilities, one thing is clear. The story of the pyramids, Atlantis, and other lost civilizations is far more complex and intriguing than we can possibly imagine. The answers may be buried beneath the sands of time, but as we continue to explore these mysteries, we may uncover a history that is as extraordinary as the pyramids themselves. As we continue to explore the mysteries of ancient civilizations, we cannot ignore the theory of Lemuria, a lost continent that some believe existed long before the rise of Egypt. Much like the tale of Atlantis, the idea of Lemuria is speculative, but it has captured the imaginations of many, and its connection to the advanced knowledge found in Egypt raises intriguing possibilities. According to the theory, Lemuria was a vast, highly advanced civilization that once spanned the Pacific Ocean, a culture that possessed an extraordinary understanding of geometry, astronomy, and even energy manipulation. These people were said to have had knowledge so sophisticated that they could have easily influenced other ancient cultures, particularly the Egyptians. Now, while the existence of Lemuria remains unproven, the theory ties into a broader mystery: the question of how ancient civilizations developed such advanced knowledge. When we look at Egypt, we are astounded by their ability to construct monumental structures like the pyramids, align them with the stars, and design them with mathematical precision. The tools they used, their understanding of the cosmos, and the spiritual significance embedded in the pyramid designs seem to indicate a deep and advanced knowledge that could not have been developed in isolation. And this is where Lemuria comes into play. Some proponents of the Lemurian theory suggest that the inhabitants of this lost continent were the bearers of knowledge that was passed down to the Egyptians, possibly through a series of ancient connections, trade routes, or even direct contact. Imagine a civilization so advanced that they understood the secrets of geometry, the celestial mechanics of the stars, and perhaps even the manipulation of energy and vibration. Knowledge that the Egyptians could have inherited as they began building their monumental structures. It is easy to see how such a culture could have influenced the Egyptians, whose advancements in astronomy and architecture seem far beyond what we typically associate with their time. Just like the Atlanteans, the people of Lemuria are said to have possessed an extraordinary level of knowledge about the stars and the cosmos. The connections between the earth and the heavens were crucial in both Lemurian and Egyptian spiritual beliefs. Could it be that the Egyptians, as they constructed their pyramids, were guided by celestial wisdom passed down from Lemuria? Could the alignment of the pyramids with Orion, the use of geometric principles, and the focus on the afterlife have originated from this lost civilization? It's an intriguing possibility, one that suggests a shared understanding of cosmic forces and spiritual ascent that transcended geographic boundaries. While the story of Lemuria is speculative, it fits into a broader pattern of ancient civilizations with knowledge far beyond their time. Just like Atlantis, Lemuria represents a lost chapter in human history, one where advanced civilizations may have thrived long before the rise of Egypt, and whose knowledge could have shaped the course of human development. The mystery of how the Egyptians knew to build their pyramids with such precise alignments, or how they were able to create structures that incorporated complex geometric principles, may lie in the ancient wisdom of Lemuria, passed down through forgotten paths and hidden connections. As we explore the advanced knowledge of geometry, astronomy, and energy found in ancient civilizations, it becomes clear that the Egyptians were not working in isolation. The possibility of Lemuria and its advanced understanding of the world could be a key part of the puzzle, helping explain how ancient cultures were able to achieve feats that seem beyond the reach of their time. The idea that the Egyptians could have inherited their knowledge from such an advanced and lost civilization adds another layer of mystery to the already fascinating story of the pyramids and their construction. Of course, we must approach the theory of Lemuria with caution, as it remains speculative and unproven. However, its connection to Atlantis and the broader mystery of ancient knowledge is undeniable. Whether or not Lemuria ever existed, the idea that ancient civilizations were connected by a shared understanding of the cosmos, geometry, and energy continues to inspire awe and curiosity. The pyramids stand as a testament to this ancient wisdom, a legacy that links Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, and other lost civilizations in a web of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Who knows what other secrets lie hidden beneath the sands of time, waiting for us to rediscover them. As we look back to the time when the Great Pyramid of Giza was first constructed, it's easy to see it as just another grand monument built for a pharaoh. But to the ancient Egyptians, it was far more than that. The pyramid was not just a tomb. It was a powerful symbol of the pharaoh's divine right to rule, a physical manifestation of the god's presence on earth. It was a mark of the pharaoh's eternal connection to the divine, built to ensure his soul's ascension to the heavens, where he would be reborn and continue to guide Egypt through the afterlife. The Great Pyramid wasn't merely a structure of stone and mortar. It was a beacon, a cosmic doorway, designed to reach beyond the earthly realm and into the stars. The Egyptians believed that the pyramid's shape, its precise alignment with the stars, and its location on earth were all part of a divine plan, ensuring that the pharaoh's journey from death to eternity would be as seamless as possible. The pyramid's pointed design was a reflection of the sun's rays, symbolizing the pharaoh's soul's ascent to the heavens. The pyramid was a link between the physical world and the divine, a symbol of divine order and cosmic balance, designed to connect the pharaoh to the gods themselves. To the ancient Egyptians, the pyramid wasn't just a tomb. It was a tool for immortality, a sacred space that carried with it spiritual and cosmic significance beyond our understanding. Now, fast forward thousands of years, and the Great Pyramid continues to capture our imagination. In modern times, the legacy of the Great Pyramid endures. But why does it still fascinate us so much today? Why is it that, despite all the advancements in technology, science, and archaeology, the pyramids remain as enigmatic as ever? What is it about this ancient structure that continues to draw us in, inspiring theories, debates, and fascination across cultures? The Great Pyramid remains the last of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing, a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the ancient Egyptians. But beyond its impressive size and construction, it continues to be a symbol of mystery and wonder, sparking curiosity about the ancient world and its secrets. Its precise alignment with the stars, its mathematical and astronomical connections, and the possibility that it was once a source of energy or a cosmic machine. All of these factors contribute to the pyramid's lasting significance. The pyramid stands as a symbol of the unknown, a structure that continues to challenge our understanding of ancient knowledge and capabilities. But what's even more intriguing is the way the pyramid's legacy has shaped cultures and societies throughout history. It has become a symbol of not only ancient Egypt, but of human achievement and ambition, a reminder of what's possible when we push the boundaries of our understanding. The Great Pyramid continues to inspire modern architects, engineers, and scientists who are still trying to unravel its mysteries. How did the Egyptians achieve such precision with primitive tools? Could the knowledge that went into building the pyramids have been passed down from a lost civilization? And could the pyramids still hold secrets that we have yet to discover? The Great Pyramid has sparked the imagination of explorers, theorists, and dreamers for centuries, and it remains a focal point for anyone interested in the ancient world. It's more than just a physical structure. It's a cultural and spiritual icon that transcends time, capturing the essence of ancient Egypt's legacy while continuing to inspire us today. It's a reminder that, despite all our advancements, there's still so much we don't understand about the ancient world and its incredible achievements. Now, as we continue to study the Great Pyramid and its mysteries, we can't help but wonder, could the pyramids be part of a much bigger puzzle yet to be solved? Are we only scratching the surface of the secrets that the pyramids hold? What else is hidden within their walls, beneath the sands, and in the stars above? As we continue to explore these questions, we're reminded that the Great Pyramid is not just a relic of the past, but a beacon of possibility for the future. And who knows? The answers might be closer than we think, waiting for the next generation of explorers, scientists, and dreamers to uncover. So, I invite you to share your thoughts and theories. What do you think? Could the pyramids be part of a greater mystery, one that we have yet to fully understand? The journey to uncover the truth is far from over, and who knows what we'll discover next. The pyramids of ancient Egypt are without a doubt among the most iconic and awe-inspiring structures ever built. But what makes them truly fascinating is not just their sheer size or architectural brilliance. It's their deep cultural and religious significance. The Egyptians viewed the pyramids as more than just monumental tombs for their pharaohs. They were spiritual gateways, symbols of divine power, and representations of the eternal connection between the earthly realm and the gods. Understanding the pyramids in this context requires us to explore the religious and cultural landscape of ancient Egypt, where death was not seen as an end, but as a transition into an eternal afterlife. The pyramid was part of a much larger cosmic plan to ensure that the pharaoh's soul would ascend to the heavens, joining the gods and continuing to rule from beyond the grave. The shape of the pyramid itself was loaded with symbolic meaning. The ancient Egyptians believed that the pyramid's pointed structure was representative of the sun's rays. The sun, for them, was not just a source of light and warmth. It was the manifestation of the god Ra, the creator of all life. In Egyptian cosmology, Ra's journey across the sky was seen as a metaphor for the soul's journey from life to death, and ultimately to the afterlife. The pyramid's shape mimicked this journey, with its sloping sides representing the sun's rays that would carry the pharaoh's soul to the heavens. The pharaoh, as the living incarnation of Ra, would ascend through these rays, joining the sun god in the afterlife to continue ruling as an immortal divine being. So, when the Egyptians constructed these pyramids, they weren't just building a tomb, they were creating a pathway to eternity, an elevator for the pharaoh's soul to the stars. This belief in the importance of the afterlife was so central to Egyptian culture that it influenced every aspect of their society, from their burial practices to their monumental architecture. But the pyramid's spiritual significance went beyond just its shape. The entire layout of the pyramid, including its passageways, chambers, and alignments, was designed to facilitate the pharaoh's journey to the next world. The most famous text that guided this journey was the Book of the Dead, a collection of spells, prayers, and instructions meant to help the deceased navigate the perilous path through the afterlife. The pyramid itself, with its precise alignments to the stars and its secret chambers, acted as both a guide and a protector, ensuring that the pharaoh's soul would be able to travel safely through the underworld and reach the afterlife. The Egyptian afterlife was not a passive journey. It was a process fraught with challenges, and the pharaoh's soul had to pass through many trials before it could join the gods. The Book of the Dead offered instructions on how to overcome these obstacles, from encounters with gods and demons to navigating the many gates of the underworld. The pyramid, with its spiritual architecture and precise alignments, was seen as an aid in this journey, with each chamber and shaft designed to assist the pharaoh's soul as it traveled through these realms. The pyramid wasn't just a physical space. It was a sacred tool, a cosmic device, built to ensure the pharaoh's immortality. But the pyramid's significance was not limited to the pharaoh's soul alone. It was also a political and social symbol, a representation of divine authority that extended over the entire land of Egypt. The pharaoh, as both a king and a god, ruled not only the people but the very forces of nature. A pyramid was a physical manifestation of that power, a monument that displayed the pharaoh's absolute control over the land, the people, and the cosmos itself. The Great Pyramid of Giza, standing at an awe-inspiring height of over 480 feet, was the largest and most impressive of all the pyramids, a testament to the pharaoh's might and the strength of his reign. Its size, precision, and longevity were deliberate expressions of divine power, designed to show that the pharaoh's rule would endure through the ages. The design and placement of the pyramid were also part of this assertion of power. The pyramids were strategically placed along the Nile, often near the capital cities, symbolizing the pharaoh's dominion over both the land and the people. The Great Pyramid, for example, was constructed at the very heart of Egypt, aligned with incredible precision to the cardinal points and with celestial bodies such as Orion's belt. This alignment wasn't just a display of architectural mastery. It was an assertion that the pharaoh's power extended from the earth to the stars. The pyramid's position on earth, coupled with its celestial alignments, acted as a visual and spiritual representation of the pharaoh's connection to the gods and the universe. In ancient Egypt, power was inseparable from divinity. The pharaoh was seen as the earthly representative of the gods, a living deity whose authority was absolute. And what better way to demonstrate this power than by constructing the largest and most visible structures the world had ever seen? The Great Pyramid, towering over the landscape, was an assertion of the pharaoh's divine right to rule, a symbol of his eternal presence and authority. The pyramid was meant to stand for all eternity, ensuring that the pharaoh's name and his divine power would never be forgotten. Every stone that was placed in the pyramid's construction was a testament to the pharaoh's power, and its enduring presence served as a constant reminder to the people of Egypt of the pharaoh's eternal rule. In addition to its political significance, the pyramid also played a crucial role in the spiritual life of ancient Egypt. It wasn't just a tomb for the pharaoh. It was the central point of a much larger religious and cultural framework. The construction of the pyramids was deeply tied to the worship of the gods, the cycles of the sun, and the pharaoh's connection to the divine. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh's death was not the end, but a transition to a higher, divine existence, and the pyramid was the key to ensuring that this transition occurred smoothly. The rituals and ceremonies that surrounded pyramid construction were as important as the structure itself, with priests, architects, and laborers working together to ensure that the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife would be successful. The Great Pyramid was not just a symbol of the pharaoh's power. It was a reflection of the very essence of Egyptian beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife. It embodied their understanding of the cosmos, the connection between the earth and the heavens, and the divine order that governed all existence. The pyramid was a beacon of immortality, a gateway to the stars, and a lasting testament to the pharaoh's divine authority and eternal reign. As we look at the pyramids today, we are reminded of their profound significance in ancient Egyptian society. They were not just monumental tombs. They were symbols of power, faith, and cosmic order. The Great Pyramid, in particular, continues to captivate us, not only for its scale and engineering, but for its deep cultural and spiritual importance. The pyramids were more than just physical structures. They were sacred instruments, designed to ensure the pharaoh's immortality and to assert his divine power. The legacy of the pyramids endures, and as we continue to study them, we uncover new layers of meaning, helping us understand not just the ancient Egyptians, but the very essence of their beliefs, their culture, and their view of the universe. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for thousands of years, and as time passes, the fascination surrounding it only grows. While it's long been regarded as the grand tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, could there be more to its purpose than just that? What if the Great Pyramid wasn't only a tomb, a symbol of power, or a gateway to the afterlife, but something else entirely? Something that we have yet to fully understand? Could it have been a form of power generator, a device designed to harvest and amplify energy from the Earth's natural fields, a kind of ancient energy plant? Yes, you heard that right. Some researchers and engineers believe that the Great Pyramid could have been used to tap into the Earth's electromagnetic forces, transforming them into usable energy. This might sound like a theory pulled from the pages of science fiction, but it's an idea that has been explored by serious researchers and engineers who are looking at the pyramid in a whole new light. The unique design of the Great Pyramid, with its precise alignments and specific construction features, has led some to speculate that it was not just a monument of stone, but a device meant to capture and amplify natural energy sources from the Earth itself. Think about it. Every ancient civilization had an intricate understanding of nature and the forces that governed the world. But what if the Egyptians discovered something that allowed them to manipulate those forces on a grand scale? Some scientists and engineers have proposed that the pyramid's geometric shape, its alignment with the Earth's magnetic field, and the materials used in its construction were all deliberately chosen to harness and channel energy. The pyramid's location on a natural magnetic hotspot might not just be coincidental. It could have been a key factor in its design. Could the Egyptians have built the pyramid with a knowledge of electromagnetic energy, tapping into the natural energy flowing through the Earth and converting it into something usable? When you take a closer look at the pyramid's construction, the idea becomes even more fascinating. The massive stones used to build the pyramid, many of which are made of granite, a material that contains high levels of quartz, could have been key in this process. Quartz is known for its ability to conduct energy, and some researchers believe that the combination of quartz and other materials used in the pyramid could have worked as an energy conductor, allowing the pyramid to capture, store, and possibly even transmit energy. The pyramid's exact dimensions, its internal chambers, and the layout of the passageways might have been designed not just for spiritual purposes, but for energy amplification. In fact, interviews with modern engineers who explore this theory suggest that the pyramid's internal structure, particularly the Grand Gallery and the King's Chamber, may have been designed to focus and amplify energy, much like the way a modern capacitor or battery works. Could the pyramid have functioned as an energy storage device, capturing energy from the Earth's magnetic field, the sun's rays, or cosmic radiation, and storing it in the pyramid's chambers for use in ancient Egypt? These engineers believe that the way the pyramid is constructed may have created a resonance effect, amplifying natural energy and converting it into usable power. Some even suggest that the pyramid's alignment with specific stars in the solstices could have played a role in this process, tapping into cosmic energy and channeling it into the pyramid's core. This theory of the Great Pyramid as a power source ties into a larger mystery. Could the pyramids of Egypt have been part of a global network of energy harvesting structures built to channel the Earth's natural forces and provide power to the ancient world? The idea that the pyramids were not just tombs or spiritual gateways, but functioning energy plants, opens up an entirely new perspective on ancient Egyptian technology and knowledge. What if the Egyptians had access to advanced energy systems, ones that could harness and utilize the Earth's magnetic fields and other natural sources of energy? Could the knowledge of these systems have been lost over time, wiped away by natural disasters, wars, or the collapse of civilizations? But let's not just stay in the realm of theory. Let's explore the possibility of recreating such a pyramid power plant with modern technology. Could we, with our advanced tools and understanding of energy, recreate a similar structure today? What would it take to build a modern pyramid capable of harnessing and amplifying Earth's natural energy? Could we use the same geometric principles and design features to tap into the planet's electromagnetic fields and create a sustainable form of energy? The concept of a pyramid functioning as an energy generator seems almost futuristic, yet when we look at the natural forces at play within the Earth, it's not so hard to imagine. The challenge would be immense, of course. Modern engineering and technology would need to catch up with what could have been ancient knowledge. But the principles of energy generation and resonance that are being explored today are strikingly similar to what might have been used in the construction of the pyramids. In the world of energy harvesting and sustainable technology, there are already experiments looking at ways to capture and store natural energy from the Earth's magnetic fields, the sun, and even the energy of sound and vibrations. Could the design of the pyramid be the key to unlocking a new form of energy, one that draws from the very forces of nature that surround us every day? It's a question that continues to spark curiosity in modern scientists and engineers who are looking to ancient designs for inspiration. But here's the real cliffhanger. Could there be more pyramids, hidden beneath the sands of Egypt, that hold the secrets to this ancient technology? What if we've only scratched the surface of what the pyramids are truly capable of? Could there be chambers, hidden deep within the pyramids, that hold the blueprints or the evidence of their true function as energy generators? The Great Pyramid is not the only one. It's just the most famous. Are there other pyramids yet to be discovered that could contain the key to unraveling this mystery? What if beneath the sands lies further evidence of an ancient advanced knowledge that we have yet to fully understand? As we continue to explore these possibilities, the question remains: did the Egyptians build the pyramids as energy harvesters, using the Earth's natural forces for their own purposes? And could modern technology unlock the secrets of these ancient power plants, offering us a new, sustainable form of energy that was discovered thousands of years ago? The journey to uncover these answers has only just begun, and who knows what we'll find as we dig deeper into the mysteries of the Great Pyramid. What is clear is that the pyramids and their energy mystery hold secrets that could change the way we view ancient civilizations and their connection to the natural world. Could the pyramid truly have been a power generator, and could we one day recreate it? The mystery continues, and it may be more fascinating than we ever imagined. For centuries, the pyramids of Egypt have been the subject of fascination and intrigue. But what if the true treasures of these ancient monuments have not yet been uncovered? What if there are still hidden tombs, artifacts, and ancient relics waiting to be discovered beneath the sand, just waiting for modern technology to reveal them? The idea that the most valuable and historically significant treasures of the pyramids are still out of reach is a thrilling thought, and recent technological advancements are bringing us closer to that elusive goal. For years, archaeologists have scoured the pyramids, searching for any signs of hidden chambers or long-lost treasures. We've all heard the stories of gold and jewels, of mummies sealed away in secret tombs for eternity, and of hidden scrolls containing the lost wisdom of ancient Egypt. But what if much of what we've found so far is only the beginning of a much larger discovery waiting just beneath the surface? With the development of cutting-edge tools like 3D scanning, muon tomography, and ground-penetrating radar, we now have the ability to peer deeper into the pyramids and their surrounding areas than ever before. These technologies allow us to reveal hidden voids and chambers that were previously undetectable by traditional archaeological methods. Just think about it. In 2017, a team of scientists used muon tomography, a technology that detects subatomic particles passing through objects, to uncover a massive hidden void within the Great Pyramid. This void, which had been concealed for thousands of years, was located high above the Grand Gallery, one of the pyramid's most important features. Could this void be the key to uncovering a hidden tomb or ancient artifacts that have been untouched for centuries? Muon tomography isn't the only tool we're using to search the pyramids either. Ground-penetrating radar has also revealed previously unknown voids and chambers, hinting at the possibility of undiscovered spaces filled with artifacts or even royal tombs. Could we be on the verge of uncovering the final resting places of pharaohs and their treasures, hidden deep within the walls of the Great Pyramid? The mystery of these hidden chambers is tantalizing. Some researchers believe that these voids could be hiding more than just empty spaces. They could be filled with long-forgotten artifacts, royal mummies, or even the scrolls of wisdom that the ancient Egyptians used in their religious and spiritual practices. These hidden chambers might contain the key to understanding how the pyramids were constructed, or even offer new insights into Egyptian culture and their belief systems. Imagine opening a sealed chamber to find treasures that have been hidden from the world for millennia. Imagine unearthing artifacts that have the potential to change everything we know about ancient Egypt and the way they lived. But while these new technologies are revealing exciting possibilities, they also raise more questions than answers. If there are hidden tombs and treasures waiting to be discovered, where exactly are they? Could they be within the walls of the Great Pyramid, or in the smaller pyramids scattered across Egypt? Could there be undiscovered chambers beneath the sand, waiting to be unearthed by future generations? The mystery continues to deepen, and with each new discovery, we inch closer to uncovering what lies beneath the surface. The search for new tombs and treasures is not just the work of scientists and archaeologists. It's also the work of famous explorers who have dedicated their lives to uncovering the secrets of Egypt's past. One such explorer is Zahi Hawass, a renowned Egyptian archaeologist who has been at the forefront of many groundbreaking discoveries in Egypt. Hawass and his team have uncovered some truly incredible finds, including the recent discovery of a hidden tomb in the Valley of the Kings, where a new set of mummies was found in an untouched burial site. This discovery is just one example of the many tombs and mummies still being unearthed in Egypt, especially in the areas surrounding the pyramids. Hawass has also played a key role in the exploration of the Giza Plateau, where he has uncovered new clues about the construction and use of the pyramids, as well as new burial sites for important officials and priests. Could there be even more tombs and royal treasures hiding just beneath the sand, waiting for the right technology and the right explorers to uncover them? The possibility of hidden tombs and untold riches continues to fuel the excitement and mystery surrounding the pyramids. What if the next discovery could be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of knowledge and artifacts that have remained hidden for thousands of years? Every new finding, whether it's a hidden chamber, a new set of mummies, or an unexplored tomb, adds to the intrigue of the pyramids and their legacy. The more we uncover, the more we realize just how much is still left to discover about ancient Egypt and the mysteries of the pyramids. As technology continues to advance, it's likely that more hidden tombs and treasures will be revealed, offering us a deeper understanding of the ancient Egyptians and the incredible achievements they made. Could it be that the treasures we've found so far are just a fraction of what is still buried beneath the surface? Are we on the verge of uncovering chambers that have remained untouched for millennia, filled with priceless artifacts and ancient knowledge? The search for these hidden tombs is far from over, and with each new discovery, we're one step closer to unlocking the secrets of the pyramids. Could the true treasures of the pyramids still be waiting to be found, hidden deep within their walls or buried beneath the sands of Egypt? Only time will tell, but one thing is for certain. The mystery of what lies beneath the pyramids continues to captivate the world, sparking the curiosity of explorers, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. The Great Pyramid of Giza has always been more than just a colossal tomb. For the ancient Egyptians, it was a monumental symbol of a pharaoh's divine power, a physical mark on earth that connected the ruler to the gods and the cosmos. When it was first constructed, the pyramid was not just a grand structure meant to house the pharaoh's remains. It was designed as a cosmic gateway, a beacon that reached out to the heavens. The Egyptians believed that the pharaoh's soul would ascend through the pyramid, joining the gods in the afterlife, and ensuring the continued prosperity and order of the land. It wasn't just a building. It was a living, breathing symbol of divine rule, a structure so powerful that it would outlast the pharaoh and serve as a testament to his eternal connection to the gods. The pyramid's purpose was much deeper than the simple task of preserving the pharaoh's body. It was built with an understanding of the cosmos, with alignments that connected it to celestial bodies, such as the stars of Orion's belt, which were associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. The pyramid itself was part of a grand spiritual and cosmic design that aimed to ensure the pharaoh's soul could safely traverse the realms of the dead and be reborn in the heavens. In ancient Egypt, the construction of such a monument was a display of power, but it was also a display of divine authority. The pharaoh's power extended beyond the earthly realm. It reached into the stars, ensuring his place in the afterlife and solidifying his connection with the divine forces that governed the universe. This belief was so deeply embedded in Egyptian culture that the pyramids were seen as far more than just tombs. They were the keys to immortality, and they were meant to reflect the pharaoh's divine status, both in life and in death. Fast forward to today, and the Great Pyramid continues to capture our imagination and intrigue. The fascination with the pyramids hasn't waned in the thousands of years since their construction, and it continues to be a source of scientific curiosity, cultural reflection, and awe. Why is this? Why do we still study the Great Pyramid? Why does it continue to fascinate both scientists and the general public alike, even though we know so much about its physical construction? The answer lies not just in its size, its engineering, or its historical context, but in its enduring mystery. We still don't fully understand how the ancient Egyptians were able to construct such a precise and awe-inspiring structure with the tools and technology available to them at the time. The alignment of the Great Pyramid with the cardinal points, its precise geometric design, and the sheer scale of the project raise questions that we are still trying to answer. How did the Egyptians manage to cut and move massive stones, some weighing over 70 tons, with such precision? How did they achieve such alignment with the stars and celestial bodies, thousands of years before modern technology made such feats possible? The more we study the pyramid, the more we uncover, but the questions keep coming. Could there have been hidden technologies, ancient knowledge, or spiritual beliefs that we are only now beginning to understand? Beyond the technical and scientific questions, the Great Pyramid's cultural significance is also profound. It represents the peak of Egyptian civilization, a culture that understood the importance of symbolism, religion, and the power of the pharaoh. It continues to serve as a reminder of human ingenuity and ambition, as well as the deep spiritual and cultural beliefs that shaped ancient Egypt. It's a structure that represents not just a time or place in history, but a belief system, a worldview that saw the connection between the earthly realm and the divine as central to their understanding of life, death, and eternity. The Great Pyramid is more than just an ancient monument. It's a symbol of what humanity can achieve when we connect our physical world to the metaphysical, when we create something that outlasts us and serves a purpose beyond our lifetime. So, why does the Great Pyramid continue to hold such sway over our imaginations today? Why does it remain such a captivating subject for exploration, study, and even mystery? It's because even in our modern world, we still don't have all the answers. We are still in awe of what the Egyptians achieved, and we continue to search for clues that might unlock the secrets of the pyramid's construction, its spiritual significance, and its true purpose. The pyramid is an enigma, one that draws us in and keeps us wondering, questioning, and exploring. It's a reminder that there's always more to learn, always more to discover, and always more to understand. The Great Pyramid's legacy lives on, and with each new generation, new theories emerge. New technologies are employed, and new discoveries are made. What we thought we knew about the pyramid changes constantly as we peel back the layers of history, engineering, and culture. And that's what makes it so exciting. Could the pyramids be part of a much bigger puzzle? One that spans centuries of human history, hidden knowledge, and lost civilizations? Could there be more secrets buried beneath the sands of Egypt, waiting for the right technology and the right explorers to uncover them? So I'd love to hear from you. What do you think? Could the Great Pyramid and the others in Egypt be part of a much larger mystery that we have yet to solve? What secrets do you think lie hidden within these ancient structures? Share your theories in the comments below. The legacy of the Great Pyramid continues to captivate us, and as we continue to explore and study it, we might just unlock the next great mystery that has been hidden for millennia. The journey is far from over,